Damon gives me Burger King kind of vibes, like the Whopper. Like I think if he was gonna go to like a fast food kind of place, like apparently Captain Price is now the new Lord Protector
Yes.
of
Captain
the
Price,
Queen's
Fuck
Guard.
yes.
If-
No, sending them back to the lobby is probably not the right answer.
I do actually feel bad for Aegon, because I do a little bit, but not a lot. 'Cause he's a fucking douche, dude. He's a fucking douche, and he does not deserve to be king.
You know, I think she looks like a fucking crackhead. Do I feel bad for her? Yeah, she's on that milk of the puppy. I mean, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
A little sociopathical, kind of right there. Not a real word I just said, but I made it up on the fly. He's just like you're done drinking the tavern. He just like, what? Like he this plan backfired on him. How do you know that?
I mean, it's fucking
Did you watch the episode? Like,
I
did you watch?
I
It is so.
I drank
Go.
literally half bottle of wine.
God damn. Juggernaut's
That's
good
our
too.
host, ladies and gentlemen.
That's our
That's our host.
Welcome back to episode 4 of House of the Potatoes here. My good friend Joseph Potatoes and Scott Pierk. We are going to be dissecting the 4th episode, big episode, longer than an hour
Huge.
episode, huge episode, massive implications on the rise here in the world of Westeros. We're going to dive right into it. Joseph, 3 words, lay it off. Don't waste too much time.
3 words. It'll go much smoother than it did last episode. I actually wrote them down this time. My 3 words are abuse, bastards, and Tumbleton.
You say abuse was the first one?
Yeah. I'll
Abuse,
explain that
bastards,
later.
Tumbleton. Okay. Love it. Scott?
So me and Joey actually went through our words before this. My word is also abuse, for very known reasons we'll discuss. And then the second one will be Sunfire. And then the last one, son of a bitch, what was it? Lies.
There you go.
Interesting.
There's always
Okay.
a lot of lies. Always
Lies,
a lot of lies.
interesting.
I love Westeros.
Lots of lies.
Love it, love it, love it. For me, I'm intrigued. Dragons and dynasty. That's the third word. They mentioned that
Wow.
in there in the episode somewhere. I forgot exactly where, but they mentioned. I think Rhaenyra brought it up.
Yep.
We're gonna go right into it. We're gonna go right into it. We start here. We start in Tumbleton. It goes right there. Soldiers, they're walking through the city. They're posting up in Resident's house. No one's happy about this, and I don't fucking blame them. And I don't blame them whatsoever. There's one soldier starts to eye Hugh's wife up and down. This guy wants some puss and wants some puss now, bro.
Right off
Right
the
off
bat,
the
like,
rip. Right off the rip.
this guy can't
Hughes-
be trusted,
Fucking
so-
scumbag.
Scumbag indeed. Hugh's brother, he tries to kind of like, yo, like this place full, and then this guy's like, we got 15,000 men here, a lot of men, big army, and they got somewhere that they need somewhere to sleep. Not much to this one, really. It's just they're just kind of walking through. They're starting to take control of this town now. It skips to Orman, and he's bathing, and like before off
Yep.
the bat, why do we gotta show people freaking bare ass naked all the time? Like I just don't understand. Like we don't need to see that. We don't need to see that unless there's some action going on,
mean,
right?
At least we didn't see cock this time.
Oh,
No,
that's what I was
we
just
didn't,
gonna
but
say,
I'm
yeah.
seeing-
That's what I was afraid of.
Butt ass naked. He's bathing. So these, I guess, if I make the assumption that it's these leaders, right? There's a guy and a girl, and they're kind of
Yep.
pleading their case of why they should get the fuck out. Like, just like we're not a war town. This isn't a place to be posting up. Like, this is not really the place. You guys shouldn't be here. The guy's being a little more skittish. The girl's, she's not like taking shit. Like, she's like, get the fuck out of here. Is basically what she's saying. In simple terms at first. So as they're going on having this conversation, the woman eventually says, and I quote, "We swore because she is the queen," right? They're talking about swearing fealty to Rhaenyra.
Yep.
And Ormond looks at her and says, "Is she?" Stands up, butt ass naked, right? And he says, "Or she is a bitch with a dragon." And honestly, he could be right. At least about half of that. She does have a dragon. She could gotta be a little bit of a bitch sometimes, but Rhaenyra is pretty good overall. They have this conversation, and it ends with Ormond promising that his men will behave, right? As we know, that does not happen, at least with this one guy.
Bullshit lie.
And he does make sure to say, "Hey, we'll behave. Make sure my men behave, but I want to make sure that you guys behave," which is kind of part of what ends up happening. Um, they leave and they're having this Orman's having this conversation. Daron's there with one of, I guess, his advisors, and they're talking about Boros
Fucking Daron.
Baratheon, right? So it sounds like they're, and might have mentioned earlier in the show, I just don't remember, but they're talking about, I guess, this guy Boros had a marriage pact with Prince Aemon, and it sounds like he's probably backtracking as there's now a new queen and trying to get out of it. And Orman kind of lets the guy know, hey, we gotta let this guy know that we mean fucking business. And he even says, a kind of a joke because Baratheons are known for being fucking idiots. Like, maybe use pictures over letters, this time, right? To get this
Yeah.
guy to get the message. Tells him to send another raven. There's no word from Harrenhal, and Orman is kind of assuring to Darren, not Darren.
I'm like, you're down with the
Everything's gonna be
Darons.
fine, and Aemon's gonna come here. So, Sky, thoughts on these first quick little couple scenes? Again, there's just not much action here, but
Yeah,
we
there's
got
not
Orman
too
butt
much.
ass naked. Soldiers are coming on through. They're having a conversation. There's no word from Aemon. That's kind of the gist of this first couple scenes.
Yeah, I mean, straight off the bat, you got the shot of the two rabbits, just hopping on a hill. I always like to mention my animals in here, but no, it's Hugh's wife, brother. We get to see all of them, and then 15,000 men just storming in, already being fucking dicks to the people there. That obviously don't want to let them settle in their house, which valid. But again, 15,000 soldiers, where the fuck are they gonna go? Um,
Cost of war, right? It's
yeah,
part of the
yeah,
cost of war.
yeah, definitely. Um, no, I mean, other than that, that whole Ormond scene, I mean, it's just him getting up butt ass naked and then just saying all that. I mean, I don't think it was really too much to say. He was talking to the leaders of Tumbleton, kind of just letting you know, like, you're loyal to Rhaenyra, but she might just be a bitch with dragons.
Yeah,
I think it's definitely interesting what's to come with I guess the Baratheons and how Aemon's just, I guess, missing for right now. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much all I got.
Joseph.
Yeah, I think the point of this scene, what it shows, that it's really setting up Orman's a very formidable threat, right? He's got a huge army for the Greens, and also he has Darren and his dragon, and they're gonna be a major foe for Team Black. And but also it kind of goes back to, I think I mentioned it last episode, like Rhaenyra's just like not making the best decisions as queen, because like
Yeah, she's not.
like when Orban says that, oh, like is she the queen, or is she just a bitch with a dragon? He's like, yeah, like Rhaenyra has King's Landing, but the war is not over. He hasn't
Just
even
begunning.
been legit. He hasn't even been legitimately recognized by the Septon, by the Faith.
Mm-hmm.
So like,
So she's nothing right now, pretty much.
yeah, it's like she has King's Landing, but she it's clear that a lot of the lords don't like her. There's some issues among the small folk, and like there's still like Vagar's still out there, Aemon's still out there, the High Tower army is still out there. Like like practically speaking, like Damon and the Dragon Seeds, they should have burned them all. The last
Yeah,
episode, they should have took out the army.
major
Like
mistake.
I think Rhaenyra is trying to like be diplomatic, but she's leaving, an opposing army, still out there. So like there's just a lot of things that could potentially seem like they're just gonna kind of go wrong for Team Black right now. But yeah, it's
Yeah,
setting
Question.
up. Orman's a big threat. I think that's what that his introduction
represents.
there kind of
Yeah,
establishes.
Question. So it's something that I actually will bring up later on, kind of when Orman and Darren are like kind of beefing for like a quick second there, and he's kind of like, you're acting like your father. It almost kind of like poses a similar question here. Like, do you think Rhaenyra is trying too much to be like her father, potentially, or maybe you don't think she's being like him at all. Honestly, like I think sometimes she tries to be too much like him. I think it's very helpful for her to sometimes think that like Masari asked to question her right about before the rats supper scene, right? Like what would your
Hmm.
father do? And I think sometimes that's a great question. I think sometimes she's like so hung up on being like him and being recognized by the queen, which also another scene with Orwell we'll get into.
Hmm.
Like, do you think that's something that do you think she's acting too much like Viserys, or not? Maybe not at all, Scott.
I think it's kind of like a mix. Like, you want to be like your own person. You want to be like the queen, and you want to be known as like Rhaenyra, the queen of King's Landing. But you also, well, of the Seven Kingdoms, I guess. But um, I feel like it is good to ask that question sometimes, especially when she wants to like look up to something. She has like Viserys to go back to and like really she obviously looked up to him when she was a kid, and as she grew older and experienced all the things like a king does and all the different tasks and stuff. I think it's a good question to raise. Like, what would Viserys do?
Interesting, Joseph. Anything to add?
I just think Rhaenyra is just clearly clouded by her grief, the
Yeah,
loss
that's
of her
definitely a big
sons,
part of it.
which yeah,
Very
I
fair.
get that, but like
Yeah.
you're also the queen, dude. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
you gotta lock in a little bit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I just feel, and she's so consumed with revenge. Like she's like I'm gonna get every crumb of vengeance that I can. Right? Like what she said in the last episode, and
Ah, so
she's
sweet.
concerned about finding Sheep Stealer and her rider. Like she's just, and then she's also she's alienating her allies like Corliss,
Yeah.
and like it just seems like she's making a lot of bad decisions, and I mean, I guess that was partly kind of like Viserys. I mean, Viserys wasn't known as a weak king. He didn't make the best decisions, but he wasn't the worst king, but he wasn't like a great king. He was a peacetime king.
He
Yeah.
But
only
it's
made, to
different now.
my eyes, one bad decision.
Rhaenyra's on a different circumstance than
Oh,
Viserys. Viserys was a
completely different.
peacetime king. Now they're in a civil war.
Hmm.
Now, so there's different circumstances surrounding Rhaenyra's um, queenship,
Yep.
but I just feel like I feel like she's going down some dicey roads. I think.
Tough decisions too. Some of them. But
Damon gives me Burger King kind of vibes, like the Whopper. Like I think if he was gonna go to like a fast food kind of place, I could see Damon
yeah.
being a Burger King kind of guy. It's just random side note, but whatever.
Uh,
Um,
I don't get that.
I
Me
don't
neither.
I don't
What does
get it
that?
But
either.
What do you mean? What does that mean?
Rhaenyra gives me Wendy's vibes,
That
100%, like the
seems
4 for 4
disrespectful
piece.
to my boy Damon.
I don't know.
Damon Burger
He
King.
gives me Burger King kind of vibes.
That seems disrespectful to my
Um,
Yeah, I
on
Damon.
fucking
another
hate
note,
Burger King.
getting back on track. So we shift here. We go over to the small council meeting with Rhaenyra, got Massaria, Orwell, and apparently Captain Price is now the new Lord Protector
Yes.
Captain
of
Price,
the
yeah.
Queen's
Fuck
Guard.
yes.
They're talking
Love
about
to see Bravo 6 going
Tumbleton,
dark.
why Ormond took it. Rhaenyra still like doesn't understand like what the end game here is, which I think a lot of us are also answering that or asking that same question. Orwell is advising Damon to have him and his army meet them, right? And because they're talking about maybe letting dragons, maybe not, and that's the proposal that Rhaenyra kind of fucking with, I guess. But she's still kind of, got her mind really more on Sheep Stealer and revenge and all that great jazz.
Hmm.
Um, she sends Orwell to send a Raven, and she kind of gives him like that opening, like, hey, like if you behave yourself, like you could stay at your post. Like she kind of, maybe I guess she sees the good in him, which I don't blame her because he is a good guy, Orwell. He just wants to serve the like kind of like Varys, but not in the way where like he schemes. Like
Yeah.
Orwell just gives me vibes of like he just wants to serve the realm. You
I
don't
think
think
he's
that,
just
Joseph?
being a maester. I think he's just serving
I think
the
it's the Maester.
whoever's got King's
I
Landing.
think I think he's just I don't know. I think you're giving him too much credit.
But
I think
what do you
he's
mean though?
just I think he's a survivor. I think he
Well,
just
yeah,
does
I
what he
don't.
does to
I mean,
stay alive,
yeah,
which is good. He should
I
do
don't think
that.
he has an
But I
agenda.
don't necessarily think he really I don't know how much he cares about serving the realm, but as far as
I
just
mean, maybe.
keeping
I
I
don't
his
know.
think he's
head,
doing his
Well,
job and
let me
just
ask a better
going about
question
his
then.
day.
Do you
he just
think he
wants to
has
keep
an
his head.
ulterior
Yes,
motive?
that too.
Like, do you think he has an agenda, Orwell? I don't think he has an agenda. Like, I don't think
Yeah,
I
there's
think
I don't
like
think
some
so.
plan that he has.
I think he would just blindly serve anybody who is the king or queen.
Yeah.
Like he did it with Viser like he did it with he served Viserys, then he served Aegon, now he's serving Rhaenyra. Like, I
Yeah,
think he
but
just does
but
what he
you can
does
see
to stay
though,
alive.
which I
That's
don't
fine. He
disagree
should
with.
do
I don't
that.
disagree with that.
Yeah.
But you can see that for all three kings, he's cared for all of them though. Like no matter who the king or queen was, he's cared. Like
Yeah, I mean, he's
Viserys
doing
was
his job.
sick.
He's doing his job.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
doing
he's
his
doing
job,
his
right?
job.
Um, so Rhaenyra decides instead of sending dragons to just burn the whole fucking place, she's like, "We'll send one dragon, right? To just kind of keep an eye."
Hmm.
Missaria is like trying. She every time they've had a small council meeting, including this one, she's all about the small folk. Like she's trying to help the little guy, right? And she says maybe we should name a master of coin to have basically have a scapegoat of why we're broke. And they bring up Torin Mandalay, who eventually does become master of coin. And Rhaenyra questions where Corlys is. They don't really have kind of an answer for this. Um, Rhaenyra, she goes to see Alicent. He questions her about Ormond, and one of my favorite scenes in this whole episode, this one right here. And Allison doesn't know much, hasn't really seen him since at least she was a child, maybe once or twice before. They're talking about Darren. Allison's mentioning like she kind of always hoped, Darren would be more like a high tower than a Targaryen. You kind of see that with the way like he's a little scared and nervous, and his hair obviously is a telltale sign. Um, then what you call it here? What they're talking about the concern for Darren, and Rhaenyra says to Allison, I would have spared him. And the look that Allison gives her is like, bitch, you just killed my dad and chopped his head off. What do you mean? Of course I would know you wouldn't do that. Like, of course you
Yeah.
could do that.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know anything
yeah.
anymore. And as Rhaenyra kind of like realize, they have like that realization, like, ooh, fuck. And then Rhaenyra starts to walk away, and Allison says he has a sensitivity to odors, Ormond, a very strong one. And I took that as like he could smell a trap from a mile away. Like he's not an idiot. He's not somebody you are really trying to like maybe outsmart and outmaneuver potentially. Or if you are, it's going to be something very clever because he is not an idiot. Um, and it poses another question. I'll add to the end of this to you guys. Do we think like prediction long term wise? Do you think Darren's gonna become more like his ancestral family Targaryen, or maybe more towards like this? Allison kind of seems like she wants a warmer side of Darren, like kind of like almost sees him as like the him and Helena could be like the golden children, kind of I guess, versus Aegon and fucking Aemon. Jesus Christ, bro, these fucking names, dude.
Aegon.
Aegon. Oh my God, Aegon and Aemon. Holy shit, those two guys are whack jobs and fucking gone off the
Oh
rails.
my god.
So,
Aegon and Daron.
we had the small council meeting. We had, this little scene here with Alicent. Joseph, any thoughts on these two scenes in particular? Anything to add?
Yeah, I think that's an interesting take that you had that um you took the sensitivity to odors as like he could smell a trap from a mile away, which I think there could be something to that because Ormond is very smart. He's very calculated, and he is, like I said, he's a formidable threat. But as far as Darren, it's going to be interesting to see what they do with Darren in the show. Um, because in the book he's a major character. He's a major component of this war. So I'm just hoping that the show does that justice, because we've seen that the show has done some things differently.
Yeah.
I hope that the show invests in Darren as a character, and I think Darren is an interesting character and sort of the relationship that he has with Ormond that we'll talk about later in the episode is going to be interesting to see how that unfolds and stuff. But yeah, I think I think it's just kind of wait and see. I think that Darren is he obviously he was raised by Ormond in the Hightower way, but he is a Targaryen at heart. So it's going to be interesting to see how much of the Hightower influence, Ormond's influence, has like how much of a hold that's taken
Mhm.
on him, or if he's gonna like, yeah, you know what, thanks Ormond, but like fuck you, I have a dragon and I'm a Targaryen, so like, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
so
Sorry, can
it'll
I
be
gotta
interesting
drag.
to see. Yeah.
Anything to add there, Scott?
Yeah, I mean, I don't got too much to say about the meeting per se, but just to kind of like add on with that, I obviously think the most important thing out of the two scenes was the sensitivity to odors, like you said. I think it can play a huge role into how Team Black actually attacks them. Um, they could go in with some sort of, whatever they choose, whether it's like smoke from Dragonfire or something to really get his sense of smell all thrown off. Um, and I guess we would see how much it actually affects him. Um, like, would he just be unable to do fucking anything? Is he just unable to fight? Is he gonna fall to the floor and fucking just collapse and just not be able to do anything? I don't know. I think that's gonna be very, very important in the future. That's what I gotta add.
That's a good
Also,
one.
one last thing, I
Yes.
think there's also an element of mystery to Darren, like from Team Black's perspective, because they really don't know anything about him. I
Yep.
mean, hell,
We
True.
know
they
nothing.
don't even fucking know what he looks like. I mean,
Yeah.
as a lad, and
They got fucking
yeah,
played so bad.
you know,
Gosh.
Tessarian's untested in battle, but it there is an element of mystery to Darren, like
Yep.
how formidable is he? You know, how much of a threat is he to Team Black, which is something Team Black doesn't really know. I mean, he's a
Yeah,
threat to them for the fact that he's alive and he has a claim to the throne, but like that's kind of all that they know. They don't really know much about him. So, like I said, I hope that the show, um,
that was good.
yeah, I hope the show does Darren well
Yeah,
because I
kind of seems
think
like
he's a
a puppet right now.
character. Yeah.
So we
Yeah, we'll get
shift
into that.
to see Alan catching up with Corliss, and he's kind of just like, Rhaenyra
Love
kind of
Alan.
wants you. And Corliss says, I am her hand, not her mouth. I was like, oh shit, okay. He's
Corliss
still
is
clearly a
fucking
little
pissed,
butthurt. He's still a little butthurt.
He's salty.
to
Corliss
say
does
the
not want to
least.
talk. He wants to fight. Like he wants to go out there and he wants to fight. And he decides to send Alan in his place. And Alan's just kind of like, I'm not a politician. Like it's not me. And Corliss says to him, I cannot give you legitimacy, but I can give you the chance to better yourself, which is very true here. What he's giving him an opportunity here. And as Corliss is leaving, Alan says something that's very powerful. He says, anger is not something that can be ended with a blade, my lord. Again, still, I don't know if the my lord is more still they're not comfortable yet with each other, which is understandable, or if it's just more him kind of just like maybe a little
Yeah,
bit
I
of
mean
joking
he's
way because
definitely not gonna call him dad.
I guess maybe father. I mean, he's called him father a couple times, but like not really. So
I would say that when he says, I do think that line is significant when he says, anger's not something you can satisfy with a blade. Because I think, like we were talking about, that's like that that relates to Rhaenyra as well. Like we see a lot of these characters that are stricken with grief, or in Corliss's case, just anger at Rhaenyra for not. Well, anger for a lot of things. He's angry that he lost his home.
yeah,
He's angry that his queen, who he sacrificed a lot for, won't legitimize his sons. But the theme is that like you can take your anger out on war as much as you want. It's not going to fix the void that you have in your heart, which I think speaks to Rhaenyra as well. So yeah, that's really all I have to say about that scene.
anything's gone.
Yeah, I feel like couple of words that I liked him saying, like right in the beginning of the scene, was like Rhaenyra's strength lies in dragons now. She has less need of a
Mhm.
man of the sea. But
Yep.
then looking at Alan, he's like, "But my son shall attend to her in my stead." I feel like that's just showing how Alan's going to kind of just take a little backseat in this in these endeavors for the future. But I think that that beginning dialogue was also pretty important too, because he Corlys is recognizing as all of his men that her strength is in dragons now. What are they going to do with the Man of the Sea right now? They already crossed. They're at King's Landing, so Corlys is going to be doing different stuff in the future. So we'll see what happens with him. But yeah,
Corlys does do this though. When things get tough, he tends to kind of run to the sea. But it is what it
yeah.
is. So Aegon,
Woo!
Aegon,
Aegon, come back.
fucking Aegon. Can't get these names right, dude. Aegon and Laris, they're walking through the forest. They're on their way to Rook's Rest. And we don't know, at the time we didn't realize, but they were heading towards Sunfire. He wanted to see Sunfire, right? He sees
Yes.
Sunfire. He finds him dead, and he mourns for him. And honestly, it's kind of a sad scene because you I'll ask the question too, like, do you feel bad for Aegon here? Like he is a douche, but like I felt for him here. Like he's
Yeah.
clearly very emotional here. He's clearly very emotional. A couple guys stumble upon them, and they're like, "Yo, it's a penny to touch that fucking dragon." And
Yeah. He's
Aegon's like, "Are you
fucking.
like Aegon's in his own little world?" And I don't. He probably didn't even hear that. He probably didn't even hear the comment. So Larry starts negotiating. He do be doing that. He offers some gold to them, and he's asking for some shelter. And they say, "Hey, we'll let you on. Towards Rook's Rest." And Aegon is this guy's going off the deep end right now because he's thinking that Sunfire is still alive. Like he's like, and like I
Hawkins,
I
High
said to
Valerian or
myself like,
whatever.
it's been a while now. Like how is this dragon not like decayed? Like that's something that did like give me a quick like thought, but I was like, can the dragon be like
See
it's a
Joey's
dragon? Like
reaction.
I don't know. Like so like the only thing to me, the only thing that I could think of for this dragon is if somehow Alice comes over and does some fucking witch voodoo shit and fucking brings it back to life, but we'll get there later
Mm,
on. So Aegon is sitting there thinking he's alive. Laris is trying to reel this motherfucker back in. Like
I feel bad for her.
trying to reel him in. Like, dude, we gotta go. Because we're in trouble. They are vulnerable. They're both crippled. They're in the middle of nowhere. Anyone can come across them and
Have
decide just
no
to fucking
protection.
beat the shit out of them. Like they don't like and they can't say who he is. That would make it even worse.
Oh yeah.
So Aegon's losing it. He won't accept the fate of the dragons, and Larys is just trying to plead with him. And they eventually gets him to finally get up. But kind of with your thoughts on this, if you have any thoughts, like just kind of like I guess the question I'm asking is, do you feel bad for him here? Like, do you actually feel bad for Aegon? Because I do a little bit, but not a lot. Because he's a fucking douche, dude. He's a fucking douche, and he does not deserve to be king. And I know he was kind of put in this position by the relationship that he was born. Because Viserys had to fuck Alicent. He should have fucking married the girl that Daemon ended up fucking marrying, and all this shit would have been avoided. But no, Viserys got fucking horned up for some high tower fucking puss, and now here we are, 20 years later, whatever it is.
Your
Thoughts,
father was a
Scott?
swine. Um.
I want to see the light to
um.
leave your eyes.
um. The honestly, like if anything, I feel bad for the fucking dragon. Honestly, just the
The
way that
dragon.
all
Okay, fair
happened.
enough.
The whole thing with it not being decayed. I'm like 60 to 70% sure that dragon's still alive somehow. At least I
I'm
hope
thinking
so.
about it.
I feel bad for Alaris if anything too, because he's got to deal with this fucking potty mouth fucking Aegon just talking shit to every single person that he passes by.
You bad for Laris?
Because he's got to deal with fucking Aegon.
Yeah, but Laris fucking killed his
Fuck
father and
Laris.
brother.
Yeah, I don't.
Well, no, I
Schemed.
don't.
I don't
He's
feel
he's
bad.
No,
wanking
Varys's
off the
character
fucking
is a fucking.
queen's fucking feet.
Clubfoot,
I just
foot
feel bad he has
fetish,
to
foot
deal
fetish
with them.
Laris. Fuck that. Laris probably got a boner when Aegon kissed that
Oh
dude's
my
feet
god.
at the end of later in the
Yeah.
episode.
I don't know.
That's
I would
freak.
hate to deal with fucking Aegon, is all I'm trying to say. Fuck Laris, but Aegon's just a
All
fucking
right,
potty
fair
mouth.
enough.
Like, dealing with him on a fucking trip, they got to dodge fucking people like this, wanting fucking pennies to pet a dragon. I feel like I would just be fucking. Aegon would be the last person I'd want to fucking travel with. That's all.
Joseph.
See, man, I don't know. Hard on Aegon, which I get. You know, I'm not.
He's so
I said
so
to
hard on
Scott when we
Aegon.
were watching this episode, I was like, why why do I kind of feel like I'm starting to root for Aegon a little bit? I hate the fact that
I know.
that thought is even crossing my mind. But like, you can understand. I think you can understand why Aegon, like, you can empathize, I think, with his hurt a little bit. You know, like he lost his dragon. We know that, you know, the Targaryens have a special bond with the dragon they claim. You know, he lost. He was, first of all, he not only does he lose his dragon, maybe, because I think Sunfire is definitely still alive, and but like he, you know, he was betrayed by his brother in the heat of battle. You know, he
It's
was
tough.
a king, and he's been crippled. He's been reduced to a beggar on the streets, basically. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a sucker for a comeback story, but I don't know. I feel like they're setting up Aegon to make a comeback. But the decaying dragon point is important to note, I think, because later in the episode we see the shot of Meleese, and she's clearly dead as fuck. Like
That
Oh yeah,
is
that
true.
decaying.
That's a
that
very
dragon is
true point.
Yes.
decaying. There's blood, there's dragon blood everywhere. Sunfire is down, but is not decaying. I think I don't know, I'm wondering if that's a subtle hint from the
I would think so.
How
special
much
effects
time
that
has
is trying to
passed?
lead you
Like,
to
how could it just
say
be
that.
laying there, not eating or anything for all this time and survive?
What, like
Well,
a little
but
over a
not that
month,
much.
you
I
think?
don't think that much time has passed, right?
Like
In
a
the
month
timeline.
max? What do you think? A month and change? I'm not sure.
The whole Dance of the Dragons is only a couple of years. Like it's not
Yeah, but
this show. I
I do
think is
get
only
that.
covering like the Dance of the Dragons that they're showing in the show is I think they're covering like it's like a year or two or whatever. Like it's there's not a lot of time has passed.
Yeah. Like a
Interesting.
You
month
know,
max, I feel like.
Yeah, we'll
I don't
see.
know for
Not
sure.
even. Not even.
Somebody
You're
in the somebody in the comments can fact check
yeah.
us.
Yeah,
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 But
true.
some of
That's a good idea.
I don't think that much
Somewhere in the
time has
comments, please.
passed.
dude,
Yeah.
I agree though. If I was a betting man, which we both know, all of us know that I am a betting man, I would put a lot of money on him somehow being alive with some long shot odds. But I digress. We move on. So we get to Cole and Gawain. So
Cole and
Gawain,
Gawain.
they leading their army to
All the
Harrenhal,
nihilists.
and they too they're walking
Crisp
up
and
to start
Cole.
the episode. And seeing the fucking mess that's left behind from Aemond, it's an absolute shit show there. And they walk in. I don't know what it was. Alice made me laugh when she's like, "Are you lost?" Just like to them as they're fucking coming and thinking the shit's about to go down. So she tells them, Aemon's gone. She's the steward here. The Castellan's dead. She tells them Rhaenyra is taking King's Landing. They look defeated. We shift to Cole and Gwaine. They start
They also
arguing.
had no idea, right?
They had no idea. They had no
Yeah.
idea what was going on.
Tough.
And so they're sitting at at the table, right? And they're kind of arguing about what their like the situation is and what they should do, right? And what Gwaine said here made me laugh. He summed up their situation perfectly. He says, "King's Landing has fallen. Aegon is dead. Our queens are both in chains, and we are here alone with a meager army and no dragon. We have the enemy where we want them." And he's right. Like they are at an all time low right now. This army, they don't have a lot of men as well either. I don't know, probably maybe they have what 5, 10,000 men at the absolute most. They don't have a lot of men.
Yeah.
So Gawain thinks that they should regroup with Ormond and go to Tumbleton. And Cole is still believing in Aemon. Like, he wouldn't do this to me. Like, he's whining about his dead family. Boo hoo. He's got no home under the rule of Rhaenyra. And Cole's like, we want to stay and fight. He wants to fight the Rivermen. He wants to kind of slow them down. He's kind of
Hmm.
aware that they're not going to make it out. But he thinks like, oh, maybe we could do some damage, right? That's kind of where he's kind of in
He just wants to
headwise. And
die.
they even
He's the
say like,
nihilist. He's
This
the nihilist. He's got a
yeah,
motherfucker.
death wish. Yeah.
Suicidal.
they say even like 10 to 1, 20 to 1 in army sizes here. And Cole says to Gwaine after his like high holy suicidal fucking speech, right? Another one of his many. He says we must cling to our honor lest we become beasts ourselves, which is exactly what Gwaine said. I think the episode before, 2 episodes before, when they were talking about that fucking knight who was raping that woman in the village, right?
Mm.
Because
Um,
Cole is such a Kristen Cole's such an honorable guy.
Oh yeah,
exactly, and that's
such
kind
a
of like the
gentleman.
irony in it, right? Like he's not very honorable, and I mean, kind of a quick scene. I mean, and Gawain doesn't strike me as someone who's like, it's not that he's scared. I think he's just a realist. I think he's just like, yo, like Vagar's gone, Aemon's gone. Like, what are we doing here? Like, we need to leave. Like, we need to go regroup. And Cole is. I don't even know how to explain what's going through Cole's fucking head. It's almost like he's like given up on life. Like he knows that he's not a good guy, and but what I don't understand is like the way he talks and his actions are two different things. Like he talks like he's suicidal. He talks as if like his life is over and yada yada yada. But it's like I want to know what's driving him. Like he's a scumbag. We don't like Kristen Cole. We hate Kristen Cole. He's 50 feet below crap on the totem pole. We don't like this guy. But what is making his fucking gears grind? I don't understand. It doesn't make any fucking sense. So, Scott, any thoughts on this scene here?
I
Not a
mean,
total lot
just
here, but still a little bit.
yeah, just to kind of add on to what you just said, I think he wants. I mean, to me at least, I think he wants some sort of death to be remembered by. Maybe I'm not really sure, but
Mhm.
either way, I think he's suicidal. He's out of control, and he needs to. I don't know. He just needs to lock it the fuck in. In terms of this scene though, I think Alice just being like, "Are you lost?" I'm just like, "Where the fuck did this bitch come from?" Obviously, it was pretty obvious that she was going to be the one to show up and not Eamon. Um, uh,
I'm
Now
drunk.
to say that I think when me and Joey first saw the scene, Eamon, we thought immediately was still there. I think I was a little more questioning if he was there or not. Joey, I think was you were more full on that Eamon was still there.
I
Yeah,
knew he was not there. I don't know why. I just
I
kind of had a
think
feeling.
Alice I think Alice is playing the game.
Yeah,
Oh,
So I
100%.
think because I mean we kind of know Alice's motivations. Like she wants Harrenhal. I think she
yeah,
wants power in some way. I
yeah.
think she's just trying to use this situation to her advantage. But do you guys think that Cole is suicidal?
I
His
think he's
actions, the way he
just
talks.
I don't know if he's
he's
suicidal. I just think he just doesn't care. I think he just expects that he's gonna die. And he's just like, all right, like whatever. Like I think he's just accepted the fact that he's probably gonna die. I don't know if he's necessarily like gonna go into the woods and like hang himself. You know what I mean?
yeah. I
Like
guess it's a
you
I
know,
guess I guess more suicide by battle.
suicide by combat.
Yeah, suicide by combat sort of thing.
Yeah.
I think that's
He's a
more what I was.
nihilist, and I think he believes that
Just
you
definitely a
know,
better way to put it. Yeah,
yeah. I don't necessarily think I don't think he really cares if he lives or dies, but
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know if I would call him suicidal because he is. I think he's driven. He's driven by hatred for Rhaenyra, and
that too. Yeah, well, yeah,
yeah, like I don't know. I just think he's just in this mode where he's just like I'm probably gonna die, but I'm just gonna fucking go out swinging. I guess.
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't
fair
know.
enough.
I think that's kind of where I'm at.
Fair enough. We shift. Aegon and Laris, they get to Rook's Rest, and they see the dead
Oh
are being
god.
stripped of any of their belongings. We see a part of Maylis is fallen on the wall and broken the wall of their garrison that they had there that is no longer. They're seeking food and shelter. They come across someone, I guess, I don't know if he's really a lord or if he's just posing as a lord, but Lord Janus reminds me of thought of Janus slit that fucking cunt bag.
Oh,
Um, and
oh,
basically, long story short, they agree to pitch in for food and shelter, right? You know, Larry says, "Oh, I know herbs and I can read," so he helps him there, and then he tells Aegon, like, you're gonna help my guy here, fucking get pissed and shit." And Aegon's like, "No, I'm fucking not." Aegon's not getting with the program. Like Laris is trying to get like Aegon. We need to do things that we shouldn't have to do, but we need to survive. And Aegon's just walking this fine line as we see he really walks in the next scene with him. Um, Aegon does try to protest, but Janice honestly just big dicks him. It's like Janice, like I'm in charge.
Yeah,
Like if you want to stay here, like this is what you're doing, or get the fuck out. Is basically what he's saying, and it's like Aegon's got to realize like he's got no leverage. Him and Laris, they don't have. It's not like they have a
definitely.
couple nights with them, right? They're just
He's
two
bad
cripples. Like
mouthing
they don't
everybody.
have any leverage at all, and Aegon's continuing to act like a fucking idiot. Honestly, is the way I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
Quick scene. Any quick thoughts on that of any kind, Scott
I think.
or Joseph?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're
No,
good.
go for it, Joe.
I think Aegon like really wants to like reveal himself.
He
He
Like
wants
does.
he
to so
want. I
bad.
think he really wants to like just be this guy. Like I'm the fucking king, dude. But Laris is like, well, I wouldn't do that because I think Laris is just trying to survive at this point,
Hmm.
and he's just trying to stay under the radar.
Mhm.
And I think that bothers Aegon because Aegon, you know, he was the king, and now he's basically a fucking crippled beggar.
Yeah,
Now,
He was
pretty
king
much.
for like
you
what, like a
know.
month?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah,
that
not
long,
even.
I
Yeah,
guess.
not long
But
at all. Um.
yeah, you can
Yeah,
Go
I
kind of
ahead,
mean,
Scott.
see the like Aegon is
Oh,
just super frustrated. I
yeah,
think that continues to show in each episode.
yeah. It's really eating at him until he really gets put in his place. And we'll get into that at the other scene. Right over there at Rook's Rest. I think seeing Rhaenys's dragon, seeing it decayed, really puts into
yeah.
perspective of like what like an actual like dead dragon looks like, and then what Sunfire looks like. I think they tried to make that clear distinction. So that's at least what I was thinking about that. And then the scene before with Rhaenyra and Alan, Alan coming and talking to Rhaenyra about how Corlys is out fighting right now. I think that was just like a good scene just to kind of get like some Alan Rhaenyra interaction. And then in the end, where Alan was like on board the ship, we kept cats, just kind of fix this little rat problem she's got going on over there in King's Landing. But yeah, that's really all I got to say about those two scenes.
Seeing fucking Joseph just like knock back the bourbon's got me fucking geeking in the background. Sorry. Um,
Slugging them.
whatchamacallit?
All the wine's gone.
So
All the
we
wine's gone.
The
we
rum
get
is gone.
we get to an intense scene here. Hugh's wife returns with some food. The unnamed at this point, we know him as Garrick later on, but he's an unnamed soldier at this point, right in the Hightower army. He's like, I want to inspect the goods, and he attacks the wife. He's turned on by her. And a fight breaks out, and the soldier breaks. I guess this is the brother's. So Hugh's wife's brother's wife breaks her arm. Right. He grabs the brother and smacks him with some kind of object of some kind, and the scene just kind of abruptly ends. So very
Hmm.
very quick scene, very heated scene, and then it quickly pans to Rhaenyra, who's looking at the map, King's Landing, looking at Tumbleton, and Hugh comes in, and he offers the services of him and Vermithor to Tumbleton. And Rhaenyra at first
Hmm.
is like, well, like, I have Ulf doing it, like, you kind of have a stake in it, like, and she's kind of right to keep him out of it, because, like, obviously Hugh has an emotional stake in this, and may not be thinking clearly, like Rhaenyra right now, right? So she kind of quickly is like, all right, fine, you want to go there? Go. So she decides to say, okay, you can have the first post of watching the city, and then Ulf could switch off with you. You guys could switch off,
Hmm.
which I think foreshadows something that's going to happen. A
Yeah,
prediction of
I
mine that
agree.
I will get into later on. Um, but two quick scenes here with these two. And then they pan to Ulf, and Ulf's walking through the city, and he sees the profanity on the wall. It's right, the Queen of Bastards, and he
Yeah,
returns to
that's
his local
interesting.
tavern. He's returned as a hero, right? Everyone, is proud of him, and they know this guy, and he doesn't really offer, but they kind of offer him to buy a round of drinks, and he gives him a round of drinks on the house. But before we shift back to Ormond, there, any thoughts on these three quick scenes with the little fight that breaks out in the house in Tumbleton? You have Rhaenyra talking to Hugh, and then Ulf walking through the city. Any thoughts, Scott?
Yeah, I mean the first scene, you just it's just sad to see, but it's the reality of just having soldiers in your house like that. Like there's always going to be those fucking scumbags. Yeah, let me check the goods, and then he's just fucking checking the goods of fucking Hugh's wife. Um, Fucked up scene. It's tough to, I guess, not do anything as the brother there. And of course, we see his fate in the future. But sad
Don't
scene.
spoil.
It's fucked up. Yeah, don't spoil. Whatever.
I'm
Everyone's already seen the
joking.
episode. And then yeah, I think with the whole scene with Hugh coming in and then Ulf, it's a decent plan just having two Dragon Seas kind of just chilling there, switching off. Obviously that is probably not going to fucking happen.
Yeah.
So super curious to see how where that's going to go. I think something's going to happen with Hugh. I think Hugh and Formathor are going to. It's going to be
Put my
interesting to
mortgage on
see
it.
exactly because I'm curious if Hugh knows. I doubt he knows like the exact like layout and house that they're in. Or maybe he does. I'm not sure.
I'm probably
Um,
not.
yeah, probably not. I'm not sure how familiar he is with Tumbleton and stuff, but
They ain't having the
um,
casual Sunday drives over to the family house on the
no,
weekends
no,
like that. You know.
yeah, no way. So it's gonna be curious because he can't really just burn the entire city. He can't really do anything like that. So I'm curious what he's gonna do with Vermithor, or himself to say the least. Um,
Thor's
but that's what I gotta say.
massive.
Oh, and Queen of Bastards, definitely drawn by Corliss.
You
Like
think so?
think by
I did see
Corliss?
somebody. I did see somebody
That's what
on
I brought it up.
Twitter. I saw
Yeah.
someone
Wait.
on
You
X.
think that was Corliss?
No,
Someone
there
on
was a
X
few memes
said
going
that.
around saying
Oh,
that it was
Yeah.
Corliss.
honestly, I don't think so. I think
No, I just thought that was a funny little thing.
I it
Um,
it does warrant the question of like, do we think it's somebody who's heard about this outburst between Corliss and Rhaenyra, or it's because obviously it's been well known for a long time that Rhaenyra has
yeah,
mothered bastards. So it could just be some person that just casual coincidence, or there's word has spread because that was a very obviously not in the middle of King's Landing, but that was a public scene for Corliss
oh
and
yeah, I mean
Rhaenyra
it's
in the
one of the
last episode.
taverns
Like
there.
people
Yeah.
saw this happen, so who
Hmm.
knows? But Joseph, any
No.
thoughts on these
I
three
think
scenes?
I think the fallout from that is going to be interesting because
Yeah.
it's because Rhaenyra's. I mean, she's get tells Sir Luther to basically pick the dogs of the city watch on the whoever wrote that. So I feel like that might cause some problems with the small folk
Yep.
if the police are essentially being too brutal among the citizens. That might not go so well for Rhaenyra's support among the people of King's Landing. Um,
I have something to
but
add to that later on.
As far as Hugh, um, yeah, it's tough because Ira is dispatching Hugh to Tumbleton and all two characters where I think that we're kind of questioning how loyal are they really?
Yeah.
Especially with Ulf, I think, which we'll get to in a little
We're gonna
bit.
get there. Yes.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
but with Hugh, Hugh has a personal. His wife is there, so he's a personal stake in this. So, in one sense, you would think that would make him fight harder or work harder,
Hmm.
but it also could cloud his judgment, and it could lead him to make some emotional decisions that could be detrimental to Team Black. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, I got a bad feeling.
Well,
Yeah, I don't have
yep.
a good feeling about it either.
So we shift here. The entire party involved in this fight in Tumbleton is brought before Ormond, right? And that leader woman, I don't think they say her name from earlier. She's upset and she's like, Ormond, you broke your promise, basically, right? Like you said that your men would behave. So the soldier is claiming that like the brother attacked him because they're loyal to Rhaenyra. Like they wanted to stir up some shit, right?
Hmm.
Their brother explains what happened, right? That he attacked my sister, blah blah, yada yada yada. Soldier calls them liars, and we find out his name, like I said earlier, is Garrick of Whitegrove. Ormond sides with the guilty party. Like it doesn't even like bat an eye. Like he's like, yeah, you're gonna be gelded, you're gonna have your arm broken. and you can stay with the army, but get the fuck out of here. He tells the woman like we'll give you a mace here to tend to your wounds and sends them off, right? And he's like teaching Darren a lesson here, right? He's showing mercy, and he says to him like it's kind of a ruse, but he's like teaching Darren like, hey, like sometimes in situations like this, we need to keep order, right? We need to be not merciful, maybe is not the best way to maybe say it, but like we need to be mindful of our situation and surroundings. Like if we just killed these people in the streets, like maybe things will go south here, right? And we don't want that. We want things to be civil right now as we're unfolding whatever their plan was originally and ends up being altered once they find out that Aemon's not coming. But it's definitely a sticky situation. Um, any thoughts on this scene, Scott, in terms of because you see Darren's kind of like you can tell he doesn't like maybe fully agree with like not this per se, but just in general. Like you can tell like Darren's a little scared, kind of, I guess, maybe is the way to say it, like a little
Yeah.
nervous. Because he's probably only like 15, 16 years old, 17 the most, right? He's not
Yeah.
some old kid, old guy,
Yeah,
But
I don't think he's I don't think he's ready for these like decisions yet, which is why I think like Orman's trying to like kind of show him that like, it's okay to not agree with your soldiers, especially in cases like this where it involves the citizens and you want to, show mercy. It's really obvious who the fucking guilty party is here. I mean, it's
yeah,
fucking Garrick, that fucking scumbag. Um, but no,
not a
I think
long
it's a
scene.
good yeah, it's not a long scene. I think it's a good scene though. It's good to show like more Ormond and Darren interaction because obviously, as Joey said, Darren's hopefully going to be a big character in the future. So seeing that Ormond Darren interaction as well as the future scenes we're going to see in this episode, I think it's always good to see that because yeah, I think it was interesting. I enjoyed the scene.
One of my like favorite teams, honestly, because I don't know what it is. I fuck with Orwell. I maybe people don't like him. I fuck with this guy, bro. I fuck with this guy. This
You
ball fuck. I like
love
him.
Orwell.
I
So
don't dislike him.
I
I just
He's just a maester. It's
that's
just
fine.
I
I
don't
get it.
know.
Fine. Whatever. So I'm drunk. So Rhaenyra's talking to Orwell,
okay.
and they're talking about the faith. So she's asking for information, right? And Rhaenyra, listen, as clouded as her judgment is, she is collecting information right now. Like she's asking people for advice. She's asking for information. She's been waiting for a long time from this neck of the woods, as you could say, right? And she's asking specifically about like the relationship with the high towers and the faith because I guess she's maybe fearing or wondering like, well, maybe the reason why the faith that aren't listening to me is because they're siding with the high towers. And Orwell's kind of assuring her like, listen, the high towers and the faith go way back, but the faith are going to do what they're supposed to do. Like they have their laws, their ways of life, right? And Orwell doesn't think that the faith would go beyond like their morals just because the high towers wanted them to do something specifically, whatever that may be. So Rhaenyra is telling him like, "Hey, the High Septim won't anoint me," and Orwell makes a great point here. He makes a great point here, and he says, "This is a great quote. Does it matter? Your grace hits the throne. Your people have welcomed you back as a liberator. Your dragons rule the skies. Are these not symbols of power enough?" He makes a great point. Like, yeah, they won't anoint you, but like, haven't you already shown that you are powerful? You have the power. You are the queen right now. Like, some may not see it that way, which is understandable, but haven't she's already shown it? So they continue the conversation, and Rhaenyra mentions like maybe we can remove him. And he kind of like implies and says
Bad
like
idea.
which is
Yeah.
it's a bad idea because
Yeah.
the people he says like the people may riot basically because the people are very faithful to their gods and if she goes and removes them that would be really bad. And even like I kind of like it where like I didn't write the quote down when she's like and he's like, well, maybe do you mean permanently? And then she's like, I didn't know you could kind of be like that. And like, they kind of are on the same page here. So she decides to have
Yeah.
him like send for Damon. And again, not a long scene, a lot of quick scenes in this episode. Um, but I just, I don't know what it is. Like, he's very right though in his logic and like have like besides you being anointed, haven't you shown in every other aspect right now that you are the queen and you're powerful? Not everyone's going to agree with her, but for the most part, she's shown all the signs of being powerful. And in my eyes, and to me, the biggest thing was fucking chopping off Otto's head. Like, show that she had two fucking hairy not nut sacks, two fucking hairy balls on her fucking dangling down there. So, again, not much here. Maybe it's just because
Oh my
I'm a big
god.
Orwell guy. But
Off
Joseph,
the
anything to add on
rails.
this?
Yeah, he's going off the tracks.
No, I mean, like, listen, I think Orwild is making a good point here. Like, she has the throne, she's got the dragons. Um, but again, it goes back to this obsession with legitimacy with Rhaenyra. Like, she needs to be acknowledged,
Yeah, I remember you saying
by
it
the faith.
last episode.
Um, because I think a part of her feels like, she took King's Landing with such ease, and she hasn't been acknowledged by the faith. It almost feels like maybe she's like unsatisfied with the throne right now. It's like she didn't have that really didn't have that like triumphant victory. You know what I mean? And also like a bunch of her enemies are still out there.
Yep.
Um yeah, when Rhaenyra says, I could just take him out. I mean, yeah, that's not going to go over well. Wouldn't go over well with the common folk who like,
No.
all they have is the gods.
Hmm.
So like imagine if like some world leader just like had a like publicly executed the pope, something like that. That's
Literally.
not going to be good.
Yeah.
That would
Yeah, no,
that's a
The Vatican
that
would
would
not
go
be happy.
bad
terribly.
idea, right? So I think yeah, I think Orwell's right in this case. He's trying to be like, you have the throne, like that's good enough. Like do what you have to do now that you're queen.
Scott, anything to add?
Yeah, I think it's kind of like when she's like however the information gets out to all the different houses about saying how Rhaenyra took the throne, she's queen now. But just not having the high septum is just like not having that fucking stamp of approval. And I think she kind of got blue balled a little. She took over the entirety of King's Landing just to not get approval from the high septum. I think that would piss anybody off trying to take over. Obviously she didn't expect Aegon to not be there, but that's besides the point. I think she's just pissed that she just can't get that stamp for approval, and that's just gonna just tear her to shreds. But yeah, getting rid of them, permanent removal. I think she said to Orwell that she didn't really take him as being this bloodthirsty. She's like, I'm impressed. Sending them back to the lobby is probably not the right answer.
I love it. Yeah, I fucking like side note in my notes here. I spelled Damon, but forgot the N, so it came out Damo. I just like
Damo,
geeking over here. Yo,
I noticed
yo,
that.
Dame,
I
yo,
did notice that
Damon.
in the notes.
Damon, Daron,
We just can't seem to get names right.
No, we can't get names
Deegan.
right.
Can't
There's
seem to
too
get
many
the
names.
names right. Yeah.
Let's reel it in here. Hang. Okay, so we shift to Damon. Damon, he goes to the Vale, right? And quick scene, but then a great scene right after. Oh, one of my favorite scenes in the whole episode.
Oh my
The
god,
Damon goes to the
I
This
can't
Vale
wait to
is
talk
my
about this.
favorite scene of the
Yeah,
episode.
yeah, me too.
and
Yeah.
he's asking for gold from the Lady of the Vale. The Lady of the Vale, she got a set of balls in her too, bro. She's toying with them, and they're kind of going back and forth. And she makes a great point because like she was given this deal, like, oh, I'll give you some men. I'll help you facilitate this transition for your kids and Reina to go to Pentos and protect your kids, right? And get a dragon, and she gets a baby dragon, and then they take that dragon away anyways, right? But Damon's kind of just like toying with her and just like, quicker you give me what I want, quicker I get out of here, right? She decides, all right, I'll give you the gold. A question that I'll pose after this, what about her specifically, because we don't know much about her. I don't know if we even know her name, honestly. Maybe we do. I just don't remember what her name is. But she is the Lady of the Vale, though, right now. So Damon's got the sack of gold, and Caraxes is going wild right now, and you're just like, yeah, it's just about to
Iraqis?
go down, right? And Damon cannot control. Is Caraxes a guy or a girl? So it's a boy, right?
It's Caraxes, not
Caraxes. What am I saying?
Caracas. Iraqis?
Oh shit, sorry.
Can't get
Caraxes.
names right. Caraxes, yes.
Caraxes. But is Caraxes a boy or girl?
I don't know.
Gender fluid. Okay. Caraxes
Neither
is
here nor
going
there.
wild. Damon cannot contain him or her, right? And next thing you know, off. Dragon's gone, right? And they stumble upon a cave, and lo and behold, there's Reyna, right? And that scene, dude, that scene with Damon, when he just hops off the dragon, pops out
So
his
good.
sword, and he's just like, reveal yourself. And like, dude, would you see Sheep Stealer, like with the roar, like open up her mouth with
Yeah.
the fire? That was fucking sick, dude.
When me and
Absolutely
Joey saw
fucking
that
sick.
scene, we were like fucking going
That was
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah, that was
Damon
sick.
can't believe it. Damon is so shocked. They're arguing. Damon's again a rare side of emotion from Damon in this scene here. You don't usually see him
Yeah.
get kind of emotional, right? Like he's worried, he's confused, he's like nervous for Reyna, and he's also angry at her a little bit too. You know, Damon even says to her like, "You were supposed to be on a boat to Pentos right now. You were supposed to be like protecting my other children right now." And Reyna's like, "Well, I passed off somebody else. You know what I mean? Like they'll be fine." So they're arguing, and Raina's just like, I want to go into hiding. Like I don't like, and Damon's explaining to her like Rhaenyra's looking for you. Rhaenyra is trying to literally murder you right now. Doesn't know who you are, but like this is not a good look. And
Yeah.
Rhaena,
Sheep Stealer killed Jace.
it did, yes. And Rhaena's just like, I wanted to prove myself, which I understand, right? And Damon is trying to persuade her, like just leave your dragon here, and you can go to Pentos, and nobody has to know about this. She refuses. Then Damon's like, well, maybe you could come back to King's Landing with me, right? Come back with me, like we'll make our case to Rhaenyra, like we'll explain what happened, and maybe she'll show mercy. And Rhaenyra's just like, I don't want that. And she says a very powerful like little quick thing in her speech, but she's like, when explaining herself, she's like a Targaryen without a dragon, which was truth. She was really the only one left without a dragon. And we know how Damon, and she says like, you didn't give me a passing thought when I didn't have a dragon, right? So she decides like, listen, I've asked nothing of you. Like I just want you to leave me alone. I'm gonna stay here in exile and not bother anybody. She gets up and she flies off on the dragon, kind of badass. Damon runs out of the way. Damon shushing Caraxes is just funny to me. Like shush, shut the fuck up. It
I
is
love
what it
that.
is. They see the old man. I knew that guy was burnt toast, dude. He was burnt toast the moment I saw that guy. I'm like,
Yeah.
there's no
Damon
way.
gives that
Now,
smirk.
I didn't
He
think.
gives that Damon smirk where he's
Yeah,
like, "Oh, I
exactly.
haven't had."
I
Yeah.
wasn't
Second he saw it. Yeah.
I wasn't thinking like he's gonna burn him and like take his fucking chop his head off and use his head to like be like this is him. I thought it was more
Yeah.
of like you're a witness now, so I need to
Yeah. He
kill
needs to
you
be
now, so you
silenced.
That's
don't
what I.
see.
That's what
That
I
was
That's
where
what
thought.
I
I
was
think that's what
kind of
everyone
going
thought.
at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Just needs to be silenced.
my question here before we talk about this scene here, do you feel bad for Reina? So when you can answer that question when you're talking, like, do you feel bad for her? Like, even seeing her with her hair's like turned like not that it was like her hair wasn't really like the same light color like Damon's was. It was always kind of like that
Yeah.
grayish
Well,
kind
she
of
looks
like
like a
white
fucking
kind of
crackhead.
color. But like you could see that her hair is burned off now, pretty much. She's scared and alone with her fucking dragon. Do you feel bad for her, Scott? Do you feel bad?
Um, I think she looks like a fucking crackhead. Do I feel bad for her? Yeah, she's on that milk of the puppy. I mean, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
She's
Um,
like a fucking crackhead.
I think that obviously, yes, I feel bad for Reina. She just wanted to get some action, similar to Jace. He
What
did.
kind of action?
They both just got too fucking greedy, and oh boy, I don't know.
He said action
Uh,
stuff.
Anyway, um, I do feel bad for Reina. You know, she's just a little ass kid, just trying to get her way, and
She's
a
young.
Targaryen. Yeah, she's very very young. I'm not sure actually what her age is at this point, but she's very young. Obviously, I feel bad for her. You know, she's all fucked up, probably confused right now, and she just has sheep stealer. Fucking aura farming though, with the fucking scene with the bellowing of the fire and just her in front of it. Like
Crazy scene.
that scene was fucking peak.
That was a cool shot.
That's what I fucking watch House of the Dragon for. That's fucking sick. Um, I think to kind of backtrack a little bit, the whole Lady of the Veil scene and stuff. You know, she was playing like she obviously is trying to take care of her people as well, and the talking to Damon in that whole dialogue, and she was putting her foot down, but then Damon like really put his foot down. Obviously, she can't really not say no. I mean, Caraxes is sitting right outside. He'll burn this whole fucking place to the ground. Um, cheers. So I think with the entire Caraxes and Sheepstealer interaction, I think it was awesome with the whole scene with Caraxes and like Damon trying to get a hold of his dragon, and then Caraxes just like, "Nah, we're going this way. I gotta show you. I gotta show you this shit." Um, and then obviously takes him to the cave. He gets off. That whole scene happens, and the whole dialogue between father and daughter it's touching. It gets very emotional. Damon definitely experiences, like you said, some emotions that we do not see usually. So honestly, for me, it was good to see just some more emotions coming from Damon and kind of seeing like a different side of him. Um, but yeah, I really enjoyed that scene. That was my favorite moment.
Yeah,
Listen,
that was no question my favorite scene in the episode.
Yeah,
But to answer your question, Dill, I do I do feel bad for Reina. You know, she didn't want she just wanted to help. You know, she didn't want to get Jace killed. And she was like the kid that she was left out. You know, she didn't have a dragon. She felt like an outcast. She really was kind of like she said. She was like her father never really paid her any mind, and it's like I think there's a lot of pain that she shows in that scene. Like Damon recognizes that, and I think you see the emotion in Damon to where he's like, if he does care about Reyna, because if he didn't, he would just give her up to Rhaenyra, but that's not the case, right? I mean, he gives up he gives up some random dude, gives Rhaenyra his head, and it's like, yeah, yeah, see, we're good, case closed, right? And but
that's
I
it.
think you really see the kind of that father daughter relationship and a lot of the pain that's there, and I just thought that was such a well done scene.
Yeah.
Um, but I would imagine this is going to cause some problems, for
Oh, for
the
sure.
Damon Rhaenyra relationship because Damon's lying to Rhaenyra and Rhaenyra's out for blood. It adds a whole nother complication again to this sort of the internal um, problems that are going on within Team Black now, and it just got a whole lot more complicated with the whole Lena
Again,
situation.
yep. One of my words, lies. It could be a
Yeah,
fucking problem.
so we shift, and Orman is at the
You love
table.
that word. And we're shifting.
He gets word from Harrenhal, and that Aemon's not joining them, and he has a, a meltdown. That's the only way I could say it. He looks like a kid who did not get his chocolate chip cookie after dinner, and he's just losing it. And even like you can tell, Daron notices it and tells like, "Get the fuck out of here," because like shit's about to go down. So Daron, he knows Orman. Like I wouldn't make sense.
Daron.
What?
You said Daron.
Should have fucked up. Fucking Darren, bro.
Sorry, keep going.
There you go. And so Orman goes ape shit. He returns the calm immediately. On a little sociopathical, kind of right there. Not a real word I just said, but I made it up on the fly. He's
sociopathical.
sociopathical. Darren looks a little scared, a little worried, but something he clearly has seen before. Ormond says they need to make a new plan. We don't know what the original plan was, but they're making a new plan. So we're gonna find out what's going on with them. And Rhaenyra, it shifts to Rhaenyra talking to Orwell, and they're talking about Ormond, and then Ulf comes in. And he just like this guy's a fucking idiot, bro. Like I love Ulf, like he's funny and stuff, but like he does not know how to read the room. He just walks in like, oh, so like, I'm yours now, but like, can I have this, and this? And like that's literally what he did basically. He walks in, he's like, oh, I know this
He's
guy.
so out of place.
They need a new whatever, a new place to live. This guy's got some fucking, this guy's got a rap sheet. Clear his rap sheet, basically. All these things. And Rhaenyra's like, who the fuck are these people? He's like, oh, they're allies. Hey, you're fucking drinking buddies. That's literally what they are. So,
He's
next
trying to
thing you
help his
know,
boys. He's trying to help out his boys.
he is trying to help out his boys. And she explains, like, well, like, if you die, like, I lose a dragon. Like, I can't have that. Like, you're done drinking the tavern. He's just like, what? Like he this plan backfired on him immediately. And she's like, yeah, you can't be doing this. So you can see the ounce of regret on like his face. Like he's realized like, oh fuck, like this is what's now become of me as a knight now, like what my duties are. And before he leaves, he says, out of nowhere, he says they protest you, you know, out there in the city, I've seen vile words painted on walls. They say Queen of Bastards. The work, I am sure, of some of your misguided subjects who mistakenly believe their queen to be unkind. And just walks out. And powerful a powerful scene here. And he like uses this like opportunity to kind of be like, hey, like maybe you're being a little unkind to me right now, like some other people think of you currently right now. And he again, not what Corliss does, but he basically just reminds her like, hey, your kids are fucking bastards. Which is like not really the best thing to be saying, probably, as you just got knighted. And last episode, you were like, I'm going for Targaryen, and like a fucking idiot. So Ulf gets classic case of just doesn't know how to read the room at all whatsoever. It's very interesting to me how he tries to persuade her to change her mind. She tells the protector, fucking AKA Captain Price, ring Sir
Sir Price.
Luther and fucking
Yeah.
fix this problem basically for me. And we'll get there. We'll get to this scene later on. I have something to add to that it reminded me of something from the past.
Okay.
Um, but any thoughts, Joseph, on these two scenes here? We have Ormond going ape shit bonkers over there with
That was
Darren,
so funny. Me and Joey
and
were laughing.
then we have Rhaenyra who's telling Ulf like you're on house arrest now because you have a dragon and I can't lose you.
Yeah, so well, I'll start with the Ormond scene. I think the reaction that Darren has when he tells the other squire basically to get the fuck out. Ormond's
Yeah,
about to go
fuck off.
nuts. Yeah. Think like and you see like the fear in Darren's eyes. Like I feel like that this episode, especially the last scene of the episode that we'll get to, like it was like kind of it's giving you that kind of inclination that there may be some kind of abusive relationship going on
Yeah,
between Darren and Ormond. Um, where I think Darren is genuinely afraid of him, you know. So I think that there's might be some abuse going on there.
definitely.
But as far as Ulf and Rhaenyra, like the thing with Ulf is like he just keeps getting like put down by Rhaenyra and Damon,
Hmm.
and I feel like it's really they're kind of planting the seed for potentially some kind of betrayal.
Yeah,
I think that Ulf is continuously kind of getting frustrated with how he's being treated by the queen. Um, Granted, Ulf's request in this case is ridiculous.
No,
Like
definitely.
it's a ridiculous request.
Yeah.
But like the
For the
fact that
boys, but it's stupid.
yeah, it's for the boys. I respect that. But like it's like of
For the
course Rhaenyra
boys.
is not gonna do this. Um but you know, his boys like in the bar, like that's like his family, you know?
Yeah.
So like and then not only does like Rhaenyra not heed his request, he then tells him, "No, you can't hang out with your boys anymore."
Hmm.
Basically.
Yeah.
So this like not only am I not going to help your boys, you can't even hang out with them anymore. Like that's not gonna.
That's not gonna
Imagine like if
fly.
someone, like if somebody told me that I couldn't hang out with you guys anymore, I'd be like, "Fuck you," like those are my
Yeah.
boys. You know what I mean? So like I
No, that's
just feel like
facts.
it's kind of planting the seeds for like I don't necessarily see how Ulf would remain unquestionably loyal to Team Black when Team Black just constantly puts him down, you know?
Yeah.
Scott, anything to add?
No, I agree. I'll start with Ormond as well. I think him flipping the table over Aemond and Vagar not joining them is, valid. But again, like Joey said, I think like Darren being like, "All right, you guys." The second he saw his face, he was like, "All right, guys, get the fuck out." Like he's about to go ape shit, and he went fucking ape shit. He raged the fuck out. Like that fucking place was a fucking rage room. Um, that's really all I got to say about that. I mean, again, like Darren looks scared. There's obviously some sort of abusive relationship, like Joey said, but we'll get that in, get more into that at the at the final scene. Um, and then when Ulf came in doing those requests for the boys, and I feel like he like doubled down in a way where he was just like, they call you Queen of Bastards, by the way. Um,
Yeah,
just letting you know that. Just after like she like just put him down. I
like
just
that
thought it was
salty
very
zinger. Throws
yeah.
a salty zinger in there,
Yeah, I
right?
thought it was very interesting the way he brought that up right after. I think me and Joey talked about it when we were watching it too. Like that was just like a crazy thing to say to the queen just out of nowhere. Obviously, a good thing to bring up that is there's a little unrest, I guess, amongst the townspeople. But his request getting denied, just and that to keep happening. I think, like you said, Joey, is to I think it's gonna be a future betrayal. I think Ulf is going to say, fuck the queen. I'm going to go do my own thing, or I'm joining Team Green. I think he might just. I really don't know if he would just straight up join the other side. More so, I think he would just fuck off, maybe. I'm not really sure. I don't think he's going to stay loyal to them. I think him getting smacked in the face and then him getting put down by Rhaenyra. Also, too, I've realized anyone that's mentioned the whole Queen of Bastards sort of scheme and stuff. Damon's just not been there. Like Corliss talking shit, Ulf saying that, just Damon just wasn't there. I'm just thinking they probably wouldn't say that if Damon was right next to them, according to what happened last season. But
Yeah.
anyway, that's all I got. And I love Surprise. Sorry, that's
Love it.
Surprise. Shout out Captain Price.
it. Shout out to Captain Price.
Shout out to Charles, me, James, and our friend Colin going 22 rounds in Black Ops Kino Zombies today. Just throwing it out there.
There it is.
Yeah, we look good. We look good. That's neither here nor there. So, Aegon, this motherfucker is finished collecting, gathering, retrieving just buckets of piss and shit. That's what he's up. That's where he's at right now. This motherfucker is just gathering piss and shit. Could you imagine that right now? That would fucking suck. Laris has found a ship that's sailing from Duskendale. Get them the fuck out of there. Laris is trying to persuade Aegon that like it's an advantage that they think that you're dead right now. Because it is an advantage. They don't think of him as a threat right now. They're not looking for him, right? Aegon is pissed. Laris is trying to hype him up. Like, listen, just he's trying to tame him right now. Like, hey, just like let's stay focused. Like everything's fine. Like this sucks right now. We're gonna get out of here, right? Then Aegon's not given any food, and he kind of just goes off the rails. He freaks out on
Cracks.
Janice, threatens to
Absolutely cracks.
chop off his fucking tongue, curses him out, threatens him,
I'll have your tongue for that.
and Janice pulls out a knife. Like, I don't know what Aegon thought happened here, but gets a knife pulled on him. And Aegon tries to backtrack, but Janice is like, nope, like, I have the leverage, like, you're a fucking cripple, like, I'm doing whatever I want you. And he makes him kiss his fucking feet, which his feet look disgusting, as you saw. And
Just full of
Aegon's
shit
lucky
and mud.
he didn't die here. But Aegon is maybe in the moment realizing, like, hey, like, I was definitely wrong, I shouldn't have done that, but probably not, though, because he's a fucking douche canoe. Then Rhaenyra, we shift, and she's with her small council. So now her small council saw at the beginning of the episode, right? It was just her, Captain Price, Visaria, Orwell. That's all was there in this room, right?
Yep.
Now we have fucking Rhaenyra. We got Missaria. Damon's back now, right? We have Lord Mannerly is now Tor Mannerly's back here, and Captain Price, obviously, and Orwell. So now you see, like, it's things are on the rise here now. With Rhaenyra and her council, at least, like, it's starting to grow. Don't know much about Tor Mannerly, but we're gonna find out. I'm assuming sooner rather than later. And Mannerly's the new master of coin, as was discussed in the last council meeting that we saw here. Daemon returns with the coin and the dead rider of Sheep's Dealer. And Missaria is still fucking and Daemon still going at it. Missaria, like, with what little coin that Daemon's brought, like, bitch, shut the fuck up, honestly. Like, she's really trying to, like, those two really keep just butting at each other's heads right there, right? They continue to bicker and stuff. Daemon, he wants this coin to go to the gold cloaks, as he feels like, well, they're really what's keeping the law and order right now. Without them, like, we don't really have much here at King's Landing, so we should pay them. And Masari is kind of on the other side. We should be kind of giving to the small folk to give it out for food and etc. So they have their cases. Rhaenyra clears the room. You can kind of see Masari is kind of like, not maybe annoyed, but like kind of like a little ticked off, like, oh, she's clearing the room and she's just talking to Damon now, and I'm not like part of this conversation. Because clearly there's a lot of trust there. And Damon's listening to Rhaenyra's questions, on who this head is, and Damon's trying to, like, kind of get this taken care of. Like, get out of the way.
Yeah, just get it
Damon's
over with.
trying to calm her down, make some moves on this. uh Rhaenyra eventually calms down, and she basically says to Daemon, like, listen, they're loyal to the Gold Cloaks. Like, keep them in line. They'll get paid eventually, but she doesn't say it, but she kind of is implying that she's now siding with Massaria, where this gold should be used for the common folk, which I don't think that she's wrong for. I don't think she's wrong for that. Maybe she could spread the wealth a little bit, but whatever, it's definitely a tough decision. Um, Damon walks out, and Misari even asks, she's like, whose head is that? Like, you could kind of tell, like, she knows that something's going on here. I'm not saying she knows for sure, but she knows Damon almost better than anybody. Besides Rhaenyra, Missaria probably knows Damon better than anybody alive in the entire world right now, right? So she kind of knows something's going on there.
I think his
Um,
exit too also like kind of answered her question.
yeah,
Because
she
the way he kind of just looks back and then
he
he
didn't
just
say
kept
shit.
walking.
Yeah, he didn't say shit.
Yeah.
Um, any thoughts, Scott, on these two scenes here? Aegon collecting pips and
um
shit, almost getting clipped. Rhaenyra, small council. Damon
yeah.
brings head into small council with coin.
Yep. With coin. Yeah, I think the whole Laris, Aegon, Janice, and all those guys over there. I mean, that scene was fucking just. You can tell Aegon was just getting to that point, and he absolutely fucking cracked. And the second anybody talked back to him, of course, it was Janice. He was, I'll have your fucking tongue for saying that. And it's like Janice is like, who the fuck do you think you're talking to? Like, I am the leader here, like, and then obviously they put Laris up against the back of a wall or whatever he was on, and then that left Aegon to get down on both knees and kick his fucking or kiss his foot full of fucking mud and shit probably. That whole scene was just, I mean, I think me and Joey were laughing for parts of it because we were just like, what the fuck is going on right now? But yeah, that scene was pretty good just to get Aegon just put in the dirt like that. I mean, for talking out of line like that, I mean, you're good. It doesn't matter who the fuck you are. Like right now, you are not the king. Nobody knows you are the king. Therefore, you are not the king, and you are nothing. Um. Anyway, um, in comes a small council. This whole scene was awesome too. Damon just strolling in, just head on the table, burnt to a crisp, and then just the whole talk with Rhaenyra and him. I think it was interesting to see that Rhaenyra was really speaking out and really pounding down on him to be like, "Who is this? Where did this happen?" Like all these different questions, and Damon just wants to really get this conversation over with and just walk away, which he ended up doing. But um,
See,
she was asking questions like,
He's
like
not buying this, right?
no,
Like
no, not at all.
y-
I don't
what
I don't
was the
think
yeah,
she
question? Wait,
would.
sorry, Joe. What was your question?
Rhaenyra, she's not buying this story from Damon.
No,
I think she might be
I
for
don't know.
now,
I
at
think
least.
he feels like I feel like there's something wrong.
Massaria
Like
definitely
he's
isn't.
got to think
Masari's
that
not. No,
Masari for
Masari is not
sure
buying the
is not
story.
buying it.
Yeah,
If
I think
anything, I think
Massaria
Masari
might.
would be the one convincing Rhaenyra
That's what I
almost.
Not to
was
buy
gonna
But
it.
like
say.
the thing is,
Yeah.
Yeah,
honestly, I think Massaria, even if she didn't believe that that was actually the person with Damon, I think she would still start some shit with Rhaenyra just to kind of like keep this little like love triangle drama thing
it's
going. Like I think she would be like,
it's
hey,
more of a
like I don't really know
yeah,
that this is right person, just
a
to stir up
power
the pot
struggle.
there. Because
Yeah.
Massaria wants to
Yeah,
be that number two. She wants to be that trusted influence that she has, and she is a little butthurt, probably because she wants to be fucking Scissor and fucking Rhaenyra because she's in love with her. Probably, I don't know, but we'll see. Sorry, can you continue now?
Just the last thing I wanted to add is just like, Rhaenyra was like, I wanted this person, and like you didn't give me that. You gave me a burnt head that I can barely even like track what's going on. Like what was his intentions? Like who is this person? Just questions that Damon obviously just didn't want to answer. But that was all I wanted to add. Rhaenyra is obviously fucking pissed. She couldn't get the
she's
yeah,
unsatisfied.
exactly.
Yeah.
She
Yes.
wants to enact the revenge herself. She wants to look Deep Stealer's rider in the eye, and and she doesn't get that satisfaction of
Yeah.
vengeance.
Rhaenyra visits Allison. These are three quick scenes here. Rhaenyra lets Allison know, like, hey, Otto's dead corpse, bringing it back to Old Town. Where she gives her some like ring of some kind, or like something to like. I don't know what it was. Like she didn't really say what it was, but she was like, "Oh, Viserys wants you to have this." So I thought maybe it was like a ring or some kind of sentimental value. I don't know what it was. What I did think was interesting in this scene was like Helena walks over, doesn't say anything, but she gives like this a look to Allison, and Allison looks a little concerned. I don't know what that was all about, but there's something going on with Helena. I don't know if she's having like a vision. I don't know. Something's going on there. It's a quick
Well, she's
scene. It
pregnant.
cuts to Vermithor, who's flying over Tumbleton. You see Ormond is worried a little bit. The people are calling the streets to be cleared, and you just like, dude, it shows you again that Vermithor is fucking massive, dude. He is the second biggest dragon right now in the world, and he is massive. He was a little green, no pun intended, in terms of the dragon world, but Vermithor is a force to be reckoned with right now. The scene quickly pans to a very important scene in my eyes. It's to Sir Luther and the Gold Cloaks. They're going through and they're interrogating people. They're beating and killing people who they think that are involved in this Queen of Bastards writing. They're forcing people to clean up the writings. And this scene, it reminds me of when Joffrey in season 1, right, or season 1, maybe 2, I guess,
Yeah.
um, goes and has all of Robert's bastards killed. It reminds me of that, and it reminds me of like, I mean, listen, different times, but clearly freedom of speech ain't a thing around here. Freedom of speech ain't a
No.
thing around here, bro. And it does remind me a lot of that. So these three again, three quick scenes. Vermithor, massive. Again, Rhaenyra, dead corpse. Otto, to Old Town. Sir Luther is just slaying people, trying to lay down the law right now. Right before we get to the last scene here, Scott, anything to add on any of these three scenes of any kind?
Yeah, I guess starting off with the whole Rhaenyra visiting Allison again. I really think she's trying to just mend the relationship somehow to I'm not sure what point she's trying to exactly get to.
Who?
But you know,
Allison or
r-
Rhaenyra?
yeah, Allison and Rhaenyra.
No, I
But
mean,
you know,
like
it's
who
a
you who you talking about, Rhaenyra or Allison?
well, I'm just talking about both. Just
Oh,
like their like relationship,
oh, and
like
okay.
where does she want that to really get to? I don't really know exactly. I'm
Rhaenyra or
assuming just some
Allison
sort of
don't.
friendship.
Sorry, that's what I mean. Like, do you
No,
like do you
like Rhaenyra.
Rhaenyra? Okay, gosh, sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
I think what
Um,
Scott's saying is that there you can see that there's some there's some love between them. I think
They be
yeah,
fucking.
it's
Allison
very
Rhaenyra.
I'm joking.
It's like they should just hate each other at this point.
They should,
yeah.
yeah.
But um,
They just got so much baggage to
they're
them.
still they're still sort of like I don't know.
It's
they're still holding on to maybe a little bit of their friendship when they were kids or something.
yeah. I think that's what makes like the big difference here is that they have so much baggage between them from the past that she's trying to kind of like gather that back. But I don't really know where she's trying to work towards. But anyway, I think the next scene with Vermithor flying over Tumbleton, like where the scene is shot to make Vermithor look fucking massive. And the second the townspeople see him, they're like, "Oh fuck! Everybody
Yeah.
fucking hide!" Um,
Wee wee.
alarms going off.
Yep.
And then yeah, Sir Price and his gold clothes going through, and just
Sir who?
Sir Price. That is who I'm going to refer him
Sir
Captain
as.
Price.
Luther.
Sir Captain Price.
That's not the same guy
Uh,
though. Captain Price is like
Yeah,
the
no, this
acting
was Luther
protector of
in
the
this
Queen's
case.
Guard. Sir Luther
oh.
is the Lord Commander of the Gold Coats right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Oh, yes, you're right. Sorry.
Yeah, you should be fucking sorry, asshole.
All right, relax, drunk bastard. Anyway, um, the interrogation and shit. You know, it's to be expected of what the Gold Cloaks are doing. You know, they do this sort of shit. But I think it's it's important to I guess put that into the townspeople just to kind of send a message. You know, this shit's not going to be tolerated. But also, like you said, though, freedom of speech is not really tolerated in these sort of lands nowadays. But yeah, that's all I gotta say.
Joseph?
We should also mention um Helena is pregnant.
Oh yes, that's
That's a
big.
big deal.
Yes.
Allison finds out that Helena is pregnant,
When?
and
I
Yeah, I
missed
was gonna
that.
say that's not included though. I was gonna say.
I
that
missed that.
wasn't in the
I
notes.
clearly
But
missed that.
yeah. So I touched on the gold cloak stuff earlier. Like yeah, like that, and that's probably gonna cause some problems among the small folk.
Definitely.
Whatever, Hughes and Templeton. All right, like that's gonna have some implications. But Allison discovering that Helene is pregnant is kind of a big
How?
deal because it's like,
That's huge news.
But how do we?
ha-
How do you
w-
know that?
I mean, it's fucking obvious.
did you watch the episode? Like, did
I
you
did.
watch the
I
did you watch
It
it?
is so
I
Make it
obvious.
sound
watched
like shit.
Joseph. I didn't watch the episode just once. I watched it twice. Do we see a gullet there? It's like, what's
But
this?
that makes it even worse. That
What's
makes
the
it even, it's
sign?
clear
Like,
that Helene.
Her
It's
boobs
clear
like
Helene.
doubled in size.
Her
Like it's
body is
all
get her body's getting bigger. She's holding her
yeah.
stomach, and
okay,
Like
Allison
well,
there's
realizes
okay.
there's
she
So,
looks
telltale
okay,
signs.
hold on. Hear
Telltale
me
signs.
out.
she
I
looks at it.
noticed something
Yeah.
was going on there. I didn't notice that she like looked obviously bigger. Why I don't know, but that I didn't pick up on. But
How high were
like
you?
I saw like when they're using like the shirt, and I'm like, the shirt does look a lot like the shirt the cardigan cardigan whatever you want to call it, like looks bigger. I'm like, this look pretty big on her. Like what's going on here? Like so clearly I missed that.
What's going on? Is she got
Uh,
knocked up. That's what's going on. And
By who?
Allison realizes it, but well, I mean,
a lot of people are
it could.
talking about that on Reddit,
Some
but a
people
lot
think
of people are saying
some
it's
people think it could be Aemon's, but I think
that's what I've been seeing too.
it very
I don't
much
think
could be
Eamon would rape
Aegon's
Helena.
because there's not that much time has passed.
Yeah,
It's
I
probably
think
just
it's
Aegon,
Aegon. I
right?
think it's Aegon.
The point is,
It's Cole's.
you know,
Oh Jesus
you
Christ!
know, is Allison gonna you know, I doubt she's gonna tell Rhaenyra that, like it's another claimant to the throne, so that presents another
That's
That's
true.
another
issue
threat.
for Rhaenyra, and
Mhm.
I don't think Allison's gonna give Helena up. I think Helena's like the only child of hers that she actually likes, you know.
Mhm.
Um,
Hmm.
so yeah, but that's going to be interesting going forward to see how Allison's going to play that with Rhaenyra, and um, yeah, that's as far as the other stuff. We kind of touched on it good enough. So
Yeah,
I just wanted to make sure that we threw
yeah, no,
that
definitely.
because I think that's an important thing to mention.
I'm curious what her fate's gonna be. Just like if she might trying
Helena,
to, yeah, if she's gonna try and like escape, if Allison's gonna try and deliver the fucking bait. Like I don't really know. It's gonna be quite obvious very soon, and it already is, except for Dylan, that she is pregnant. Um, I'm just fucking around, Dylan.
I really did not
But
notice,
no,
honestly.
I
I
watched the
think
episode
it's
twice and just didn't pick that up.
I didn't pick that part up. Listen,
um
in my defense, I feel like I picked up a lot of things. Like I had a great
you did.
analysis
We
breakdown.
always
I'm
appreciate the
sorry that I
analysis.
fucking missed one
Guys,
thing, and it was the most obvious fucking thing.
in my defense, I was stoned. I didn't catch
Put the weed down,
it.
Snoop Dogg.
Dude, I am hammered right now, dude. I drank
Oh my god.
literally half bottle of wine.
God damn. Juggernaut's
That's
good
our
too.
host, ladies and gentlemen.
That's our
That's our host podcast.
anything else to add on this before we get to
Okay.
the final scene and then we get to closing arguments,
Wow.
questions?
Let's
Let's
get
get to
right
the
into it.
last scene.
Love it.
Let's
Let's
get
get to
Okay.
right
the
into
last
it.
scene. Yeah.
So Daron is with his dragon, the Sarion, the Saren, and
Oh fuck.
Orman is basically telling Darren to stop. Like your dragon's a fucking beast. Like stop being affectionate to him, right? Very bold of Orman, dude. Like right in front of the dragon to be like, just stop doing
Yeah.
that, right?
Just talking smack.
Um, Orman is basically calling him like you're a good boy, but you're tainted because you're a Targaryen, right? Like you're flawed because you are Targaryen. Targaryens are
Hmm.
disgusting creatures, and yada yada yada.
Yeah. Like
You
looks
can
down
tell
on him a little
Orman's
bit.
disgusted by the dragons. He even says he thinks that like they're superior to like the Targaryens, like to dragons and stuff, but they're not because dragons kill them and stuff. But they're only below the Targaryens because of the dragons and how powerful that they are, right? Caesarions like I mean, I wouldn't call it barking, obviously. It's more like roaring, but like he's like barking at Orman in the background, like while he's having this
Yeah.
conversation, literally. It's just kind of funny. Orman decides, oh, you're king. Like he basically declares him the king, is literally what happens. And Darian's like, I don't want to betray my brothers. Like they're my
Now it's
brothers. And he
Darian.
Now
Now
it's Darian.
oh shit.
This guy
Darian.
can't.
Jesus
Darren,
This guy's
Christ.
belligerent.
Oh
This
Darren.
guy.
god.
Dude, Darren doesn't want to betray his brothers.
Get it
Or
together.
Orman is making it seem like he should be king because it's the will of the gods, right? Is the kind of the way he's framing like this proposal of his to make him the king, right? Um
Must
you
be a
can
puppet pretty
definitely
much.
see that Orman is manipulating Darren here. And when he brings in the brother, this is when it really starts to happen, right? And Darren's like trying to show mercy, and Orman calls him out for being like your father, for being like Viserys, being weak like Viserys, right? You can see this hold that Orman has on Darren. He gives him the sword, and he even says to him, I have risked much and more to raise you up. Surely you do not wish to disappoint me. Again, it's just this is all manipulation right now. All manipulation right now. Allison doesn't even realize. Like when they were first talking about like with Rhaenyra the episode before about Darren going to the wall. like I don't think Allison realizes the danger that Darren is in with Ormond. Like I genuinely think that Darren, like Allison, would feel more comfortable with her being with Rhaenyra, like even being into the wall, because Ormond is starting to shape and mold Darren into, I think, this monster eventually. I think it's gonna be very slowly, but like you can tell there's good in Darren, but you can tell that Ormond has his hold on him, and that could change really quickly, right? And Darren, he looks scared, he looks nervous. The brother that's there kneeling, the brother of Hugh's wife, is pleading for his life. Darren stabs him. Doesn't want to do it, you can clearly tell, but he stabs him. And Ormond gives him that look like, that's my boy. Like that's my boy right there, bro. It ends. Tisarion lights up the corpse, and Ormond even says at the end, the last quote of the whole episode, and now we begin. Almost as if like to kind of signal like, hey, this war is just starting. This is not anywhere near being over whatsoever, right?
Hmm.
Scene ends. Very, very important scene is it almost seems as if like this was Darren's first kill. Like he hasn't killed somebody before. Is if I the assumption that I'm making right now. And
I think that's right.
and
Yeah.
you can tell that like you can tell that Darren doesn't fully believe and trust, not shouldn't say trust, but doesn't believe that Ormond's doing the right thing.
Hmm.
But they don't say the age, but they say like, oh, Ormond was Darren was a babe, like when he was sent to Ormond. So he probably looked at Ormond as his father, like not Viserys, because like Viserys just didn't raise him. Like Viserys was an old was
Yeah,
or at this
straight up.
point old and crippled, but also just like he was sent away a long time ago. So it's interesting. Darren is going to be a massive player, as we know Ormond already is going to be. But Darren's that swing wild card here. Like, is he gonna continue down this path with Ormond and become a bad guy? Is he gonna flip the switch here and kind of like realize at some point that Ormond's not a good guy and kind of using him? I don't know. We're gonna find out. But we'll let you two kind of decide here, like to talk about these two last episode here, this last scene here. Kind of go into the questions and yada yada yada. Joe
Yep.
Potatoes, thoughts on this last scene here?
Take it away.
Yeah, this was a great scene. Um, yeah, again, this is showing there's clearly some kind of abusive relationship that has taken place with Ormond abusing Darren in some way. I mean, you see it in this scene. He's like he absolutely degrades him as a Targaryen and is like basically like fuck your dragon, like they're an abomination, like you guys are your family are lesser people. The only reason that you have the power is because you have dragons, which is kind of in that sense is kind of true.
Yeah.
But Ormond has this sort of self righteousness about him that is just absolutely detestable because like he's just such a fucking he's just such a villain. Like he just seems like
Yeah.
such a like I hate this guy.
Yeah.
But you see but then he gets Darren to kill the guy and then he's like that's my boy. That's like classic abusive relationship.
Yeah.
I
Very
mean just
manipulative.
manipulative just psychological emotional abuse and then he's like no that's my guy because I think from Ormond's perspective if he wants to get Darren on the throne because Darren would I think he that would basically essentially make Darren his puppet.
Yeah.
Like Darren could be on the throne, but Ormond would be ruling.
He'd be the
You
puppet
know?
master.
He kind of
Yeah.
looks at
'Cause I
Darren more as Darren Hightower, not Darren Targaryen.
Hmm.
well, I think he looks at Darren as Darren is a tool in Ormond's Game of Thrones.
Kind of like
Darren's like a
Good
Tommen
way
with
to
chess
put
piece
it.
in
Tywin.
a way.
Kind of like how
Yeah,
Tommen kind of
I
was
think
more
that's
of
what
not
I
really. He let
Hmm.
Tywin kind of dict. Like we saw in the this episode there. Sorry to
Or even
interrupt,
when
but
Joffrey, I mean, even
yeah.
when Joffrey was king, like I mean, not Tommen, Tywin was the one that was effectively ruling the kingdom, um, and commanding the armies.
Hmm.
Slapping
To
the shit out
where,
of him.
like, I think Ormond sees Darren as like this is my chance to gain power. If I can install Darren on the throne, then I can essentially rule through him because Darren will do my bidding because of the abusive because there's that abusive relationship,
Yeah.
you know. So it'll be interesting to see if Darren sort of breaks out of that hold that Ormond has on him.
Mm.
Um, but it'll yeah, or if it's gonna play out the way Ormond hopes it would be for him. But I think Ormond is very calculated and he's using Darren as a chess piece and like I said in his Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it, honestly. Like, um, especially with his Game of Thrones, like that's such a great way to put it. That's a great Joey Potatoes quote. Um, no, I mean, I think that Orman's really trying to be the puppet master of his puppet, which is Darren, and just the really sad scene of the brother just getting clipped. I mean, at least cut his fucking head off. At least, Jesus Christ, he stabbed him right in the fucking center chest. That fucking sucks. Even though the actor kind of just like fell over and died, in real life, that would probably be, you'd probably hear screaming and it'd probably be extremely painful for a minute or two and then you'd be fucking clipped. But anyway, I think it's a great scene because it really shows how manipulative that Ormond is to Darren and that Ormond does see Darren as, as a high tower, but also a Targaryen because he still has his dragon. And he's obviously like, he sees him as a Targaryen when he's near his dragon, but then when he's just with him, just Ormond and him just talking and stuff, he sees him as a high tower in my eyes. So I think it's a very interesting relationship. And like Joey said, I'm super interested. And I hope they either show it, this season or at least in the next season that there is going to be something that breaks Darren out of this trance, and I don't know what he would do, but I think I would be it'd be really interesting to see if he would kind of go off the tracks from Ormond, do something of his own.
It's
But
also
great scene.
ironic. It's also ironic that he hates the dragon, but he needs the dragon. Like the dragon's
Yeah,
like a tool in his army,
yeah,
right? So
just moved him like a chess piece, like you said.
the irony there.
Yeah, great scene though. Great way to end this fucking fantastic episode.
That the shot with Ormond's face with
Yes,
in the
with the
reflection of
fire.
the fire.
Yep,
Yeah, it's a really
you were saying that too. That
menacing
was dope.
shot to end the episode. It was a
And
cool.
now we begin.
Yeah.
So go through all the scenes here, all completed. I do have just a couple questions. Again, else has any other questions we can ask, talk about, blah blah. We'll go
Hmm.
into ratings, obviously.
Yep.
One thing I cut off on the fly here because it reminded me of Joseph said this. Maybe it was 2 episodes ago. He was like, I don't think anybody's good in this show, man. Like this, like no good characters. Like in terms of like being a good person, right? And I thought about it, like do we think anybody is good here? Like anybody? And again, I'm gonna die in this guy's hill. Fucking
Mm,
Orwell, bro. He's a good fucking guy, man. He fucking
yeah,
means well. I don't
he's
know. I
just
don't
serving.
care. People think about it. Think about him. Well,
Mm,
my logic here, like I feel like there are very few people in this show. Like when I think on the top of my head, I think of Alan, Orwell, and I think of Sir Eric. Those are the first three, and Sir Harold. Those are the people that I think are like to me like really the only the people who I think are like genuine good people in this show. I don't know if there's anybody else you guys can think of.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I would
Uh,
really just say Orwell and fucking Alan. I mean, those are at least like Alan. I love, and I like seeing how he's, I guess, reacting to how like Corliss put him in a situation with kind of like staying back and taking a back seat when he was pretty much leading the fucking triarchy battle and killing that pirate girl or guy. I don't even fucking know who she was. She's dead now.
The leader of the bitch face. What was her name? With an
Yeah, I
L, I think,
forget.
right?
Yeah,
Lohar.
Lohar,
yes,
yeah.
Loar.
Did you say
No,
did you say bitch face?
yeah, he said bitch face. Yeah.
Bitch fist.
You said
Sorry,
bitch
bitch
Oh,
face.
fist.
bitch fist.
Bitch
Yeah.
fist.
I
Um.
did say I
You
a
said bitch
1,000%
face.
said bitch face.
Oh my god. No, I would say
Lohar,
Alan
the
Orwell though.
leader of the bitch face.
Leader of the bitch face. I would definitely say, at least to me, Orwell and Allen. Those would be my two answers.
Joseph,
Yeah,
anybody?
I would say I think Alan's a pretty good man.
Yeah.
I think there's levels to it. I think that some people are relatively good.
Yeah.
I think Adam is a relatively good man. Um,
Did we see any
I
Adam this
think
episode? I don't think we did, right?
Adam was on
Adam
this
was not
episode.
in this episode.
Yeah.
Where was he last seen? Well, what was he doing?
Mm,
Was he
was
when he
it?
got knighted? I think
Was
that was
it?
the last we saw of him.
I think so.
Yeah, we haven't seen him since episode 3. Um,
Mm.
yeah, I think Adam and Alan. I think Bayla. I think Bayla's a good
Oh yeah,
woman.
I do agree with. I think Bailey. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Helena too. Actually, she just wants some fucking chickens.
Yeah, I guess Helena has an innocence about her. I think. Um, and I don't know. What do you think? You think Gawain's a good guy? I think
He's unique
Gawain's
as
Sir
well.
okay.
Gawain.
I think he's relatively okay.
Yeah, we'll put him in
Yeah.
that
I
relatively
don't I
category.
don't think he's really done anything. I mean, he tries
No.
to he tries to be I think he tries to carry himself with some level of
Yeah, I
honor.
mean, with the whole raping
You
scene
know,
too, that was like he's
yeah,
obviously like.
I think Wayne's all right.
Mhm.
I think there's a couple. I think there's a couple of characters that are like, yeah, they're all right. Like they're okay.
Yeah, I
You
don't think
know.
anyone's like
Um,
good though. I think just relatively good's a good way to put it because it's like
yeah, I think there's a scale.
yeah,
There's
yeah,
levels to this shit.
Something I forgot to add. I touched upon this scene, but like in regards to Alan, as we mentioned him, there's that scene where Rhaenyra is in the room with the Viserys, the buildings like of the old Valyria, right? And they're talking. I
yeah,
may actually skip this scene, but
yeah. I
um,
mentioned it
I know,
because I
yeah, it's
saw
right.
you.
You
Yeah, I
mentioned it,
saw you
Scott. You
skipped it.
mentioned it,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
like Alan's kind of trying to let her know like Corlys is kind of going through his way of coping, right? And um, Rhaenyra continues to get annoyed by the rats.
Mhm.
And she said again, they said this over and over again through the show. Thanks to Aegon, all the rat catchers are dead. And then Alan's answer is, on board ship we kept rats. And I feel like
Cats,
cats. What did I say?
rats.
Oh, sorry. On board ship
Probably want to get
kept
rid of the
cats,
rats.
right? And this it it kind of it lets me know that like because Alan was saying earlier like I'm not a politician, like basically saying like I'm not smart enough to be the hand of the king, right? At least fill in for the hand of the king. It shows me that like even though Alan's uneducated, he he's not just a sword. He's not just a guy who can fight a battle. Like he may not be like the most educated person, but like he has this way of like figuring out a situation and stepping up in the moment. And again, not the smartest guy in the room, but he has a solution at times to certain things. And I really do feel like he's going to, not like Tyrion. Obviously, Tyrion was somebody who, you know, um, he was smart. He read books, knew how to read, write, and he was just a smart guy in general. And he used his temporary, being the temp of the hand of the king, to kind of like maneuver his way and have his influence. Where Alan's not like that, but where Alan's kind of just more of like trying to help. Like he's an honorable guy. Like he means well. He really does mean well, honestly. I thought that was a powerful scene, just because of he's kind of down on himself right now in terms of not in the sense of maybe I should say down on himself, but I just feel like he's more of just like he doesn't think very highly of himself, honestly. Am I wrong to think that? Like he doesn't think that he's like the smartest guy in the room or anything like that. He's not. He's very humble as as an individual. I thought
Mhm.
that was just like a cool scene. I don't know if anyone else can add on that. It's okay if not.
I think Alan's a good man.
Good guy.
Yeah, same.
Good guy.
I think he's a good guy.
My other
Um,
question. Sorry, do you have anything to add, Scott?
no, I think I just want to toss out there. I think Corlys is out fighting the rest of the Triarchy, right?
Yeah, he's. I think he wants to
Just
go and fight like
blowing off some
the
steam.
remaining of those pirates who have landed and
Yeah,
yada yada yada.
yeah. I just want to
So
throw that out there.
my next question, and comes to, I'll go my prediction and into the question.
Mhm.
Um, Hugh is bad at something stupid. That guy is bad at something fucking absolutely stupid. He is flying above Tumbleton. His wife is down there, and I'm telling you right now, he is gonna get tired of waiting, and at some point he's gonna start acting. And my prediction is that Ulf is gonna come to replace him on his post, and he's gonna be like, "I'm not leaving." And I think he's gonna convince Ulf that they should attack. I think they're gonna prematurely
Wow.
attack Tumbleton on their own, thinking like we have two dragons, we could go back, minimal damage on our side, I can get my wife, and etc. etc. So my question is like, do you think Hugh is gonna do something stupid, Scott?
Um, I would say yeah. I think he's gonna do something. Whether that's stupid is to be determined. I think something will happen with when Ulf gets there. They're gonna have some sort of conversation, and whether it's gonna be to attack early and do something. I'm not sure. I'm more curious to see how Hugh is actually gonna like know where his wife is. It's not really a town that he's used to being in. I
We
think
ain't
we were
got
saying
Google
that in the
Maps.
beginning. Yeah, sure. I mean, I think it's just going to be tough just navigating like where because if they do an early attack and just burn everything to the ground, like they're going to be burning like just tons of innocent people, which I think they do not. I can't see Hugh and Ulf just murdering innocent people just out of nowhere. I don't really see them doing that. Although I know Hugh is going to get a little restless and he's going to want to go in and get his wife and the brother back. So I'm just intrigued to see what's gonna happen. I think something is gonna happen where he's gonna
Hmm.
go against what Rhaenyra wanted, and for them to switch off with Ulf. I can't even I can't even predict what would exactly happen. I don't think it's going to be any attack on like the general, just Tumbleton in general. I don't think they're going to just light it all on fire. So I'm just intrigued to see what's going to happen, but something will happen, is what
Imagine
I'll
that Hugh like
Something will happen.
say.
I could
Um,
also see a scenario. Sorry to interrupt really fast, but I think before I forget, because I'm drunk. What if Hugh fucking loses his temper, or it's burning people alive, and his wife is just like, "This ain't the man I married," and fucking kind of just is like, you know what I mean? Like, imagine Hugh kind of goes a little overboard, try to save
Yeah.
her, and it causes a rift. Sorry, just Joseph, you now.
yeah, I feel like he's definitely gonna make some kind of. I think it's shaping up that he's gonna make some kind of emotional decision that's gonna
Mhm.
have some
Make some noise.
repercussions to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I'm curious to see what they do with Hugh because I don't. It feels like they're kind of framing him in a different way than the book does.
Mm.
But that could, but we might just be too early on for Hugh. I'm curious as to how faithful to the book they're gonna adapt Hugh's character. Um, yeah, but I feel like his wife being there is gonna cause some problems for sure. I think that's fairly
Definitely.
obvious.
Any thoughts, any changes on next character to die before we go into our ratings here? Like, do you have like,
Oh, jeez.
I know we said like Sir Gawain Joseph was the next big
What did
character
I
that we thought was
say
gonna
last
die,
time?
right? We said Sir Gawain from like the first
Did I
episode.
say Cole last time?
I thought we both said Sir Gawain in the first episode.
I said Gwen a couple episodes
But
ago.
like,
I
has
feel like I
anyone died that was a major character since the first episode? Besides Jace, obviously.
Mm.
I
well
mean,
Otto.
well, Otto, yeah, but we don't really count. We said we gave a pass because like he hasn't really been in it much lately.
Mm.
Regardless, now that we've seen this
I think I
episode,
changed my
who
answer
do we
last. I
think?
think I changed my answer last
Who do we
episode.
think? Like, forget about maybe who we thought it was. Scott, who do you think next character, main character, gonna die right now?
I think it's going to be Ulf or Hugh. I think something's going to happen, and one of them is going to either lose a dragon or themselves,
or both. But if you had to pick one,
or
pick
both.
one.
Um, Fuck it, I'll say Hugh because I think he's going to be with the one that's going to trigger that emotional decision,
Cool.
and it could cost him. I'm going to say Hugh, even though I love
Okay.
him. I love him as a dragon seed.
Joseph,
I'm gonna stick with Kristen.
Kristen. Okay. I
Crispin
think
Cole.
the next character that's like a main character that's gonna get clipped. I I think I'm kind of on a Scotch wavelength. It's gonna be Hugh or Ulf. I've been saying Hugh. I there's something that leads me to believe though that he's gonna walk away from this battle,
Mhm.
realizing he fucked up. So I'm going to say Ulf. To change it to Ulf,
Mm.
even though I'm not confident with that, but I think it's gonna be because I think like he's gonna drag Ulf into it, and then Ulf will be the
That's a good way to put
casualty,
it.
and he's gonna like feel bad, like oh fuck, like
Uh-huh.
I made a bad decision, like I dragged this poor guy into it, and yada yada. Well, as we know, Joseph the most critical, he'll go last. I am the
Yep.
most not non-critical. I'll go first. This was a great episode. Clearly didn't catch everything because whatever, I don't know. I said last episode was an 8.9, and this one was definitely a better episode. So I'm gonna go higher than the 8.9, but not much higher than the 8.9 because like it still wasn't like top tier. I'm gonna say like 9.1. I think the last episodes have been really great. I think a lot of lore
9.1.
built up. I'm gonna say
Okay.
9.1 for this
Wow.
episode. Maybe 9.05, but 9.1 is what I'm just gonna go with. Scott,
Feels
I'll
like
give.
sorry, Scott.
No, you're good.
Feels like the teacher that gives you 5 points for writing your name on the test. Like Dill.
Oh my god.
Dill is just such a he's an easy grader.
yeah,
Oh jeez.
Scott,
Dill.
I'll keep it simple. I'll give it a flat 9. I think I gave last episode like a 8 or 8.5. I forget. I'll give it a flat 9. I think it definitely deserves it. It
thank you.
wasn't as top tier as episode 2 or anything, but I think it was. I think it was still a great episode. I mean, again, my favorite scene was the one with Damon and it was Raina, right? I don't want to fuck up that name.
Yeah,
No, it
Damon
wasn't.
and Raina.
Yeah, yeah, Damon and Raina. That whole scene, fucking fire. The whole bellowing of the fire with Raina's shadow, like fucking sick. I'll give it a flat 9.
Joseph,
Right. Um,
Here we go.
I
6.5.
thought no. I think this was a very good episode. I really liked it. Very good setup episode. Um, I'll give it I'll give it an 8. I'll give it an 8.
what does
I
this
was gonna
guy
go
have to do to get pleased?
8's a great score.
Yeah, but
You guys
you're
are
like,
just
oh, it was a
you
good episode. Eight.
it's very good.
All
It
right,
was an
all
8.
right, all right.
So
Like
he's a harsh critiquer.
He's very hard,
but
very harsh.
you guys are just not you guys are just ridiculous. I mean,
Yeah,
everything's
we're
a 9
just we're just
for
easy
Dill.
creators.
Dill is like everything's a 9 for Dill. I'm
That's not
just
true.
saying
The
this was a
first
really
episode I
good
think was
episode.
was I said
Dill loves his
8.9.
decimals. It's his
This was a really good
decimals.
episode. It
Always.
was, but it was a very solid setup episode. I think
Yes.
8 is a fair score. I think it doesn't. It's not like I don't think it's one of the greatest episodes of the show. I don't think it was as weak as episode 3.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Would
I
you give
think
it a 6?
eight's a great
It's
score. Eight's a great
yeah,
score. It's a very good.
not very
It
good.
was a good
That
episode.
works.
It was a good
Yeah,
episode.
that's like
That
a B.
works.
You know, somebody has to be the voice of reason on this show.
Yeah. Uh,
any any final thoughts, predictions, anything else to add? Anybody?
I mean, I think our favorite moment, unless Dill, you had another favorite moment. I think me and Joey's favorite moment was the whole Damon and Raina scene. I mean, we talked about that
Oh,
so much,
do we
but
do that? Favorite moment?
uh,
Well, I just kind of mentioned it as it came.
yeah, we kind of
Oh,
just
okay.
mentioned it
I don't
in
think I said
stride.
mine.
But yeah, me and Joey's are just Reina and Damien. That scene was we talked about it, but it was fucking awesome. So
I'm really excited for next week's episode.
me too. I'm
I
so
will say.
hyped.
Like I'm very this episode, like I said, solid setup episode. Like I
Yep.
think it's building to some cool things that are to come, and I'm pretty pumped for next week.
Yeah.
I gotta agree
And
with
the rest of the season.
agree with
Facts.
that, and I think the best scene being that Damon Raina scene was pretty dope. All right, well, looking forward to next week. Gonna be a great episode. Episode 5. Is there 8 episodes this season or 10?
8.
Mm,
We're halfway, boys. We're
There,
halfway.
there's
yeah.
there's
We're
six.
It's
halfway.
fucked.
Looking forward to it. Chat, like, comment, subscribe. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know if we're wrong on certain things. Let us know what we're right about, what you like, what you don't like.
Yeah.
Whether it
Roast
be
us if you want.
my
Anything.
pronunciation of names, whether it be
Yeah,
Joey's
let's just
scores, whether it
blank
be
check for the internet to
Scott's
roast
critique
us.
of God
Yeah,
knows what.
blank
I
check.
don't know. Just let us know. We want to know your thoughts. Let us know. And look forward to seeing you guys next week. Okay? See you guys
These
later.
guys.